All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're doing well. Today we are back with a King of the Hill, the Mountain King of the Hill. Hopefully we'll get some Dwarf players in here, and if we don't, I'll make sure to play Dwarves myself at some point during the King of the Hill. How's it going? So yes, you're asking in chat, do I have any Age of Empires 4 footage left? No, I do not. However, I did record a podcast about it with Anticity that'll be going up this week. And on top of that, you guys will be getting footage very soon as the game does release in the next couple weeks. And, might have a little something special going on. So hang tight for that. All right, so today is going to be a standard King of the Hill. Good old-fashioned fun. Let's load into the local recording and see if we have anybody in the lobby yet. We actually do. That was very quick. Okay, didn't even start the stream. So we got Chosen One of ODM facing off against the Phoenix King, who had a very nice showing last time with his High Elves, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll get him started here in a minute. So, Chosen One will... Why am I typing in all caps? Chosen One will pick and ban 2. All right, good luck, have fun. We'll get this party started, and that is going to be it. With Chosen One, he's a Skaven player. Yeah, and in my experience, I don't really know of too many ODM players in general who play Dwarves. I mean, I think I've seen Anticity do it from time to time, but generally speaking, I don't think they're much of a Dwarven clan. If you're looking for a Dwarvish clan, the Sons of the Mountain, SOTM, who of course had a clan war against ODM recently, is kind of the Dwarven clan. But yeah, should be quite a bit of fun. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome. We're getting this party started. First match is going to be Chosen One versus the Phoenix King. And let's go ahead and see what he picks and bans. Can he bring balance to the Force? Well, we'll find out. We will find out. Peter, you're painting a Carnifex, huh? Tyranids are kind of interesting. Yeah, I always felt like looking at Tyranids in terms of their tabletop models, I was kind of like, oh man, they look a little bit hard to paint. But in reality, I had a friend show me, he plays Tyranids, and what he does is he mainly just does a ton of dry brushing because they have a lot of like raised surfaces and edges. So typically if you can get your base coat down with like either airbrush or, a spray primer, and then just get some really good dry brushing techniques, that can really make it super easy to paint Tyranids. Ice Power, the password is simply 123. That's always going to be the password for my King of the Hills, typically, unless it's like a special event or something like that. So just 123. Yeah. So pretty much anyone can guess it, Anyone can guess these bad boys. So, Chosen One. I need to get like a soundboard button on my keyboard where it just like yells Chosen One when I press it. Just for him. Just the Chosen One special. As a matter of fact, you'll probably be seeing more of Chosen One. He mentioned to me that he plays Age of Empires, so when the game does come out, shortly after, I will be holding, probably the weekend after launch of Age of Empires 4, I will be hosting an Age of Empires, basically faction war, or, the equivalent of it. I guess, what would you call it? Culture war? No, you would call it civilization war. Yeah, I don't know. But it'll be a lot of fun, so we're going to have that, and I'm very excited. I have to decide who I want to play in the event. Because as hell, damn sure I'm playing. That's going to be fun. So we get Beastmen banning Vampire Counts and Wood Elves. Pretty good. Wood Elves do well against them. Their Wood Elf Cavalry are pretty effective in that matchup, and of course the missiles can do work. And Vampire Counts are just really good against those type of factions like Beastmen. It is more of an even matchup now, but I still think a lot of Beastmen players don't want to deal with very good undead play. But I feel like the Vampire Count ban would be a little bit more conditional on your opponent. But maybe he doesn't know Phoenix King or what he likes to play or things like that. Hey, so my son, Herbert Walker, the man, the myth, the legend here in chat, asking, how do you sign up for King of the Hill? Asking for a friend, allegedly. Well, in order to sign up, all you have to do is be the first one to join the lobby. So it's first come, first serve. As soon as the game ends, just join. And over the course of, maybe 10, 15 games, hopefully you'll be able to get in. Some King of the Hills, I do a preset list in Discord. But lately, I've just been doing first come, first serve, which is a little bit easier to organize and things like that. So yeah. Sean says, yes, Tyranids are deceptively easy to paint. Dry brushing and washes will get you 90% there. Yeah, exactly. Dry brushing, I think, is one of the best techniques in painting miniatures, like in general. It's so effective if you get good at it and can get those angles. So Mr. Vats asks, do you think Ind Koresh will make it into Warhammer 3? I wouldn't be surprised at this point. If Warhammer 3, I think a lot of those really like niche kind of factions that didn't really get explored in tabletop, I think if Warhammer 3 does really well, like it sells really well, the DLCs are doing really well, I think that Games Workshop and Creative Assembly will get the itch to add in new content because it's going to be lucrative for both of them, right? So that's but like if Warhammer 3 does okay and then, the DLCs kind of peter off and it doesn't do too well financially, I don't think we would see those factions. Yeah. If you're not fast, you're last. If you ain't first, you're last. Talladega Nights is like, oh my god, one of the best movies ever. So, Phoenix King looks like he's going to play Druki. Maybe he's Druki. We will see. Yeah, Null Noil is the best. Giannis, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome, welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. The Legion grows. We grow in power. Our mullets grow in length. All is good. All is good. I think he's playing Druki. He hasn't said anything, but he is set on them right now. This used to be a matchup that even before the Beastman rework, I think Dark Elf players didn't like it too much, but, you know, I don't know. We'll see. There has been a little bit of a uprising in Dark Elf players lately. I've been seeing more and more of them in my anecdotal experience, but again, that's just my perspective, so probably not the full picture here. You say, gamers, I binge Turin for many weeks now. You'll get my money one day, streamer, man. No worries, man. No need to give me your money. Just hang out and enjoy the videos. Yeah. Cheers, man. Cheers. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up. We got, obviously, Warhammer 3 on the horizon. I don't do much coverage of the news videos, like when they do blogs and things like that. There's already so many folks who do that just way better than I could. They know the lore, they know all that stuff. So I won't be covering that stuff too much, but as soon as we get like hands-on gameplay of the, you know, where I can get my hands on the game and give you my experiences and things like that, you'll be seeing a lot more Warhammer 3 content, obviously. Age of Empires 4 coming out in a couple weeks. We'll be covering that pretty hardcore. And yeah, kind of the jam. Kind of the jam. Yeah, what is it about knocking over washes? I guess it's just because they're taller and sometimes you'll reach for like a smaller paint and then like the height of the null or the wash will like get in your way and you just bump into it, yeah. Phoenix King, you there? I don't know if he's here. He could. I doubt he would just join an AFK, so I think he's Druki. I'd assume he's Druki. Let me go ahead and see if he's messaging me in Discord here. All right. Nope, no message. Let me go ahead and send him a direct message here. Hey man, are you Dark Elf here? Let's see what he says. Yeah, okay, he's here now. We're all good. Do you plan these streams? If so, you know, there's not too much of a set schedule, but there will be at some point. Phoenix King says he was punishing the toilet for he was punishing old Ulthuan, which is kind of shaped like a toilet, so works out great. Works out great. Yeah, but I don't plan my streams too much. Some streams are planned. Like on Saturday, I will be doing the ECL Grand Final. So the grand finale to my biggest tournament series that I do run here on the channel is going to be Saturday, which is going to be the top 4. Should be quite a bit of fun. Then at some point, though, I do plan on setting up a stream schedule where we'll have some sort of a small, very simplistic website that'll have my schedule, or maybe I just post something in my community section of my YouTube channel every week where I just give the stream schedule for the week. There will come a time when I do that. So, washes are cursed. They desire only to spill. It is their one true purpose. Yeah, you speak the truth, my friend. So we do have Beastmen versus Dark Elves. Quite curious to see. Obviously, I think Phoenix King probably will go for Repeater Crossbows, Dark Riders, Slaanesh Harvesters, like a mobile build, try and win the mobility fight against the Beastmen, which is certainly possible with good magic and Wrathy. Like, she's a big player in those fights, right? You get a group of Dark Riders, which normally get punished by Centaurs, and then Wrathy is there lowering their melee attack by 18, and boom, you have a winning fight, right? So there's a lot of nice little things they can do. A lot of nice little things. 14 more days. Dude, I know. I've been suffering so bad not being able to play Age of Empires. I'm like, I love classical RTS. See, like, I'm decent at Total War, for sure, but I like base building. I like that so much, and I'm happy to get that. Because now I can get my fix of both. If I just want to get in and get like a quick 5 to 10 minute battle, just get the armies and go fisticuffs, I have Total War. If I want like a more 20, 30, 40 minute like macro battle with like base building and things like that, I have Age of Empires now. It's great. And of course, Warcraft 3 is always there. But it's going to be nice to have those. How many times will Turin yell, "Chosen One"? Probably like 2 would be my wager. You guys can do like an over-under on that if you'd like. Stanny Swab says, is there a link on some tournament rules or Discord introduction? Yes, there is, my friend, and I will get that for you right now. So just hang tight for a quick moment while we let the players get prepared for the first match of today's King of the Hill. And here you go. This is the Discord. I'll be running all my events out of here for any game that I do cover. It is my multiplayer Discord, so come join. And you can also find resources for other tournaments. There's a lot of great tournament hosts out there. And most of them have, activity in here, or you can find their various business. So that's that. That is that. All right. Yeah. I've spilled so many washes, man. Have definitely. It's over two. You think so? Well, oh man, I probably shouldn't look because it's going to influence my It's going to influence it. Yeah. Hopefully I said your name right. Stanisław? Is that how you say that? I have some experience. My wife is Polish, so I'm getting a little bit used to Slavic names and things like that. I'm still not the best, but... Emil, no way, man. Age of Empires 4 is great. Oh, I'm going to play the hell out of that. You should be able to see the lobby, and if you cannot, then you can try and add me on Steam. And I might not be able to get you on today, but in the future streams, I should be able to get you. All right, do you think it'll be fun to use barricades and stuff in multiplayer siege battles? Yes, from a casual perspective. I think it'll be cool. Like, I don't think siege battles will ever be like a competitive format. It's designed for the campaign experience. It's not designed for the multiplayer experience, but it'll still be fun. Like, I'll probably do some streams where like we do siege battles with people and, you know, just have like a King of the Hill siege battle stream. If they have like good mechanics, it'll be very fun to watch. I don't know about balance. I have a feeling there's going to be some balance stuff and some stuff that's optimal and some stuff that's terrible, right? Pretty much in every Total War rendition, there's units that are just objectively shit, and there's units that are good, right? And I think siege battles will be the same way. There's probably going to be certain deployments or barricades that are going to be universally used and abused, and then there's going to be some that will not be very good. That's just kind of how it usually goes. Yeah. Emil, you'd be surprised. The civs feel pretty different in 4. Yeah. Like, each of them have very distinct playstyles. Like, very, very distinct. Like, the way you macro, the way you expand, really heavily influenced by your landmarks and your economic bonuses and things like that. So, yeah. VP is playing right now? What is that? I have no idea what that is. Yeah. Kai, yes, the Haggard Legion is here. I got you covered. So, first battle of the day is going to be, Malice Meanblade coming in. This is, Phoenix King is a man after our hearts. You know, I was going to be a little bit grumbly that, the password is 123. I was going to be a little bit grumbly that we weren't getting Dwarves early on, even though I named it Mountain King of the Hill, but don't worry, I'll make sure we get Dwarves today. But it is Malice Meanblade in the first game, and, you know, potentially he could fight Torox, good armor piercing, and, you know, just have 2 lives, so he could take a beating and potentially give it back in demon form, maybe get his final push of value. Burning Headcaster and a Master. Master on the Velociraptor is an anti-large character, heavily designed to both protect Malice and take out things like Gorbel and Torox. Now, on the flanks, we got Dread Spears. In the backfield, it's going to be the dreaded... What is it with Dread Knights, man? Ever since we've been back on the Cavalry beta, people have been just going ham on the Dread Knights, which I really like to see. I feel like it has maybe given the Dark Elves a little bit more to work with, a little bit more hard kind of punch in that front line and the flanks. So he's got 2 Dread Knights, some Cold One Knights on the flanks with their anti-large, or no, just basic Cold One Knights. Wow, not even going for any anti-large except on the far side. Okay, so on the wide angles, he does have anti-large, which makes more sense. Typically, cavalry work in the wings, so having your anti-large out there isn't a bad idea. And that is it for the Druchii army. Now, taking a look here at our beast people, it's going to be double Manticores up in the sky. Yes, 1, 2. And a Morker, a Deathcaster, and a Wildcaster. So most likely a Spirit Leech backed up by a Wild Form? Not Wild Form, but the Traderkin. Let's go ahead and see. So we got Spirit Leech and we got Traderkin, yeah, with 2 of the Jagged Daggers, the Sacrificial Daggers, which give you Winds of Magic Regeneration. Front line's going to be Goreherds with Shields, should obviously outtrade some of the Dread Spears, but will perform quite poorly against Dread Knights. And in the back, Chosen One does have a shit ton of Centaurs and some Throwing Axes. So the big MVPs in his army are probably going to be the Centaurs with Throwing Axes. There's a ton of mobile, you know, heavy armor that the Centaurs with Throwing Axes will need to deal with here. So he's got 2 units of those. We'll be keeping an eye on them. Obviously, Manticores can punch through them, but Manticores don't have the best armor piercing of the world. So it's not the prettiest engagement that you can come in. So we will see. Let us know your predictions in chat. Ice Power saying Dreads did get a lot stronger, but in this matchup, they're just asking to lose because of Leech and Traderkin. Well, certainly a very good articulation, and I agree Traderkin is quite good against them, so we'll see. Ice Power, man, you gotta believe. You gotta believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of your heart and see how it goes, man. So, 2 Dread Knights, only 2. Not going to be the balls deep, you know, quad Dread Knight, although I wonder how many Dread Knights you're allowed to bring in accordance with the rules. I think it's 3 or 4, yeah. Definitely get some style points. Who knows, maybe Malice will carry. You know, Malice is a pretty scary campaign lord. In campaign, he can single-handedly carry pretty hard. The one-man doom stack, as they say. We'll see if he can do that same business here. So the battle's underway. A couple good burning heads could also be a big deciding factor, though the Beastmen may have an advantage in terms of the competitive nature of their army. If they do misplay and blob up like all their Centaurs, a big burning head could really do some devastating damage. Now, Fireball's going to be going down, going after the Traderkin caster, I think. Let's go ahead and see, and it hits, which is a good choice. That Traderkin is going to be extremely good against the cavalry blobs, so I do like the fact that the Phoenix King is going to be going after the Bray Shaman of the Wild with the Fireballs. Pretty epic indeed. So the forces of the Druki taking the aggressive posture. Out on the flanks here, we do have the Grog Hooves and the Centaurs with throwing axes, all three of them, and this is where there's a problem. Normally you'd have like Dark Riders with shields or something to like, screen these guys out and occupy them, but in this case the Dark Elf Cavalry kind of at the mercy here of these throwing weapons, but we'll see what they can do. Cavalry moving in the front line, and Cold One Knights looking to maybe charge in with some spears. It's a little bit hard to tell, but the Beastmen stand ready for sure. Another Fireball going to be going downtown, probably will hit that Wild Caster. 2600, the dreaded Fireball cometh, and down to 21. That was a pretty good Fireball. Maybe the Druki don't mind delaying this fight, just kind of skirmishing and moving up slowly. If they can just eventually Fireball and get rid of that Brave Shame into the wild, that will take a lot of pressure off the very elite Cavalry Court. Now, this seems like a bit of a misplay to me. He's sending in the Cavalry on the flank to attack some, Gore Herds, and then the Manscores are going to get there, and the Beastmen should have some other reinforcements nearby. So now a bunch of Dread Knights, they charge in, they do no damage, and they lose probably like 5 or 6 models, which is a little bit unfortunate. Anyways, where is Malice Meanblade? We haven't seen a Burning Head yet. The Burning Head, I'm sure, will come in time. How many Knights did fall here? It looks like 5 Knights did go down in total. And Malice has moved in, and it looks like he's going directly after the Brave Shaman of Death. So Malice is just going to be a heavy assassin here, which is good. Nobody wants to target Malice. He's kind of one of those characters you just save for last, but it looks like a Manscore actually is going to go in. And I suppose if you can get Malice to, drop his payload early and turn into the Zarkan, the dreaded demon, quickly, it's going to be strong. Ooh, God. Look at that fat, erect Traderkin hitting 2 targets and a big Burning Head in response, so that was quite nice. Actually roasts quite a few of those units, but does also get a little bit of friendly fire damage. But man, oh man, that Traderkin did some heavy work. Now Malice Meanblade is fully surrounded. He's going to have to turn into demon form very, very soon here as the Beastmen get another nice pick. And it looks like they certainly came out a little bit ahead in that engagement as the Chaos Spawn do come in and transform the Dread Spears into Spawns of Chaos. Now, Malice is not transformed yet. You have to be very careful to transform him. Otherwise, what's going to happen is he's going to break and he'll just get chased off and you're not going to even get to use his really cool ability. But now it looks like a lot of Dread Knights are coming in. This could be a nice little turnaround for the Druki. The Dread Knights, of course, really pounding the Centaurs in combat. Malice is going to have to transform, though. He's at 1,000 HP. His leadership's quite low. It looks like there's the Demon's Curse going down from Malice, instantly putting the leadership of the Manticore down to a very, very low amount. Also, all the Feral Manticores and Centaurs, this whole blob actually going quite well for Druki here, even though the Bounce Fire looking quite terrible for them. That's largely due to the fact that there are some Chaos Spawn in the battlefield, but that was a very good fight. Both Manticores, 3 Centaurs are broken, as well as the Brave Shaman of Death, and certainly getting pretty wild. But I think it's time for Malice to transform. He's got to do it, and he might as well. He's in a blob fight. This is like, a decent place. And have we seen the transformation yet? No, we have not. Man, this Phoenix King here likes to live dangerously. Malice is not going to be long for this world, and looking around the battlefield, neither is the Dark Elf army. It looks like many of them were punished, although we do get a big influx of dreaded Dread Knights coming in here. Malice continues to fight against Morker. Chaos Spawn will be disappearing here in about 15 seconds or something like that. And when will Malice transform, man? I have to say it's giving me a little bit of anxiety seeing him not transform like this. The Druki continue to grind in the fight, but the bounce power isn't as bad as you would think. It did start off quite badly for them already, and the second spawn unit is now on the table. So that is pretty much the last big trick that the old beast people have, and this spawn unit actually getting killed very, very quickly. And look at this, Malice is actually just going deep right here and taking Morker. The Shadow gave apart, and now the Manticore comes back. He's got to want to transform here, man. Here it comes. Yeah, smart play. So now he transforms, and the dreaded demon has been unleashed, and they're going after Morker very, very hardcore. Did he not transform? Oh, he didn't transform. Oh my goodness. He's just really, really pushing it. So that was one of the abilities. I always get that confused with the transformation, but he has not transformed. And here the Cold One Knights continue to try and screen where they can. The Firecaster chasing down some units. This game is actually much, much closer than it looks. If Malice can transform and like kill Morker somehow and then like go after the Manticore, which it looks like the Manticore is caught right here. This thing will probably break, if not shatter, here in a moment. Malice goes in once again. Does he have any buffs popped? It looks like he does not. Continuing to fight Morker, teamed up with the Master. The Master is giving physical resist to Malice, which is quite nice. Granted, Morker, yeah, he doesn't do magic damage. For a second, I was like, wait, does his old pimp arm do magic damage? I don't think so. But one Manticore is on its way back. The other Manticore is broken. Maybe Malice should have gone over there and tried to finish that bad boy off. The Centaurs, the throwing axes, just like we articulated in the early game, are proving to be MVPs. And you gotta transform. Come on, don't blue ball us the demon form. Come on, Phoenix King. Pop it. Okay, he pops it. Pop, lock, and drop it. 440 HP, and he transforms. He gets it off, and the bounce power is somewhat even now. And now we get the Reaper of Souls, which is going to be doing some nice AoE damage against the Centaurs in here. And still going after Morker. It's a very, very risky gambit. I mean, Morker is quite low. Looking around on the battlefield, the Dark Elves have some Dread Spears left, and I think that's pretty much it. A couple loose cavalry coming back in, but they're more or less offline. That could be a very good Burning Head if Chosen One doesn't react, but Chosen One with some very, very fast reflexes right there is able to avoid that. And the Master getting in there. The Mat score is broken. Morker probably will fall relatively soon. But then Phoenix King is pretty much, you know, on an expiration date here, as Malice will continue to eat away at himself, which I think is just a terrible mechanic. I really, you know, if anyone from CA is watching, if you could do a little bit of a gift to Dark Elf players, make it so he doesn't do that. Maybe even just make him a little weaker in demon form, but like keep him from degenerating. It is so stupid. So stupid. Anyways, Malice Darkblade continuing to grind in there. The Centaurs have piled in. Morker is very, very close to breaking. But again, like I said, the constant dissipation of ye old Zarkan. Yes, not Malice anymore. But it's going to be too much, I think. Manticore jumps in after some spears. Looks like the spears are going to be holding for a second, then they break. The Manticore is also quite close to breaking. Some cavalry are coming back in. And Morker is just holding on. This is what Morker does. He's just a raid boss. He's very, very tough to bring down. Very, very tough. But in the end, it looks like he's going to fall. Morker is taken out by Malice Meanblade, but I don't think a Master and a Fire Sorceress can solo this whole army. Like, Malice is going to have to do a lot more work before he goes. He does have healing. Like, I believe Reaper of Souls does give him a little bit of a heal, so if you can get on top of, like, the Ungor Raiders or something and maybe drain a little bit of life. The Master is also quite low. I think that Phoenix King here is going to have to juke a little bit, but man, those throwing axes hurt. Negative 31 leadership. Looks like the Reaper of Souls does go down. I think, well, it looks a little bit hard to tell. Looks like that might have been his other ability there. So the Master is broken, and this is the classic fate of Malice Darkblade. Though he did do a decent job, won a couple blob fights, I actually would say Malice's performance this game was not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. The game was lost in other areas. It wasn't Malice that lost the game. It was more or less the Dark Elf cavalry just not being super effective against the, you know, throwing axes and some of the mobility of the Beastmen forces. That's why I think you need like Slaanesha's Harvesters, some Dark Riders, some Repeater Crossbows that can be like fighting back against this mobility, because basically he was just at the mercy of these throwing axes. I would wager that every single one of these throwing axes probably got over 1,000 value this game. So we do get the charge from Malice. It looks like the Reaper of Souls is active, going to be healing him up. It looks like he's getting a little bit of business, but the throwing axes should be able to finish him off. And that was a solid game indeed. But in the end, Chosen One will win the match as Malice Darkblade falls. GG, well played. First game of the day, won by Chosen One. So check Malice's value before he dies. See, that's the problem. So you can't really check Malice's value because it splits it between his two characters. It doesn't like accumulate. Like it's kind of a dumb thing. So Malice got 1,000 value in demon form, but probably while he was in human form, it was well, or elf form, it was well over 2,000 value. I think Malice probably got close to 3,000 this game. It's 2,300 on the Firecaster. The Master even did good, but really the underperformers were the cavalry, right? I think if Phoenix King had just brought more of a standard army instead of the mass cavalry, I think he could have actually won that game. I just think his cavalry really let him down here. So 44. 1,100 or 110, 700 here. The Dread Knights were all held to sub 1,000 value. So these Dread Knights really did not pay for themselves. Whereas here, you know, looking at the Beastman army, pretty decent little spread, obviously. Manticores did fine. Centaurs, yeah, 1,000, 1,500, and 1,300. Like, there was just no answer for them, and they just, like, are so good against heavy cavalry. It was a really cool build, though. Phoenix King played well, despite his build not being, you know, up to the task of taking on Chosen One's build. I think he played very well and, you know, was in that game at several points. So let's go ahead and do ye old Pillar of Bone. Let's go to the Bone Zone, baby. Welcome to the Bone Zone, baby. Okay, Phoenix King, I'm not sure if he's still here. But anyways, first come, first serve. You guys are all welcome to join. No, that's not true. Daniel, I had one Chosen One yell at the end of the game. I said, and the winner is going to be Chosen One. But I said it in the Chosen One voice from Kung Pao. Oh, he wanted to bring dwarves. Yeah, how come he didn't bring dwarves, Phoenix King? Although it makes sense. He is the Phoenix King, so I can expect he wouldn't bring dwarves. How much? Dread Knights cost like 1,300, yeah. So like they all got about 400 to 600 value, so that was really where the game was lost for the elves, for sure. They just didn't perform that well. Malice did really good. Malice and the Firecaster single-handedly did like 5,000-6,000 value together, which is like half the Beastman army, more or less. That was why it was close. All right, so we got my son Herbert Walker in here. Oh, hell yeah. So if you guys haven't seen my son Herbert Walker, he is an excellent, excellent caster. He hosts great tournaments, has leagues of his own, and they're awesome. So make sure to check him out. I believe he's on YouTube and Twitch, but if any mods want to drop a link to his Twitch channel, which I believe is where he focuses, please do so. And if he doesn't, then I will do that. So now, Chosen One, picks 3, and bans 1. All right. So basically, game 3 format. Ice Power, you got jacked, man. He got your spot, dude. So let's see what Chosen One picks here. My son Herbert Walker is a dwarf player, if I'm not mistaken. I know he likes to play dwarves, or at least he did back in the day. I'm not sure. But yeah, he was really fast. HW got in here quick. No, I don't have a son. No, I do not. It is my son Herbert Walker, a reference to There Will Be Blood. Certainly a pretty intense movie. It's our son. He is all of our sons. Yes. Daniil says, when will the Slanesh bots appear on the stream? Probably towards the end. We don't have enough viewers yet. Usually when you get to like 600, 700, 800 viewers, that's when these Slanesh bots appear. They only come when there's a lot of loot to be had, you know? Yeah, that's Slanesh bots. Why, you guys thinking about trying to summon them here? All right, so we will see what they're going to be picking here. I will get you guys another link to Discord. All right. Here we go. You're all set. There you go. Yeah, it's the Daniel Day-Lewis movie, yeah. Man, he's a great actor. He's a great actor for sure. What do you guys think is the best Daniel Day-Lewis film? I probably only know 2 or 3 myself, but if you guys have any suggestions, I'd actually be interested checking some of those out. All right, so we have Vampire Counts, Lizardmen, and Skaven, and then my son goes, he bans Skaven and picks Dwarves. Yes, he's doing it. A hero of the people indeed. So we're going to have Dwarves versus either Lizardmen, which is a fine, even matchup, or Vampire Counts, which is, it depends on the Vampire Count player, but this should be great. So we got Lizards versus Dwarves on Pillar of Bone. Honestly, sounds like fun. Sounds like a good battle. Yeah, Gangs of New York is an underrated one for sure. Man, Bill, yeah, he played Bill the Butcher in that. That was an intense movie. I remember watching that and being like, oh my God, that's intense. Back when I was a kiddo. So that came out when I was in like 7th grade or something. Yeah, so it would have been like 11. I remember watching that. Yeah, Gangs of New York was pretty cool. Yeah. Last of the Mohicans. There Will Be Blood is obviously great, but it's very different in terms of narrative. Like, you know, it's more of a character study, I suppose. Herbert Walker says he has a bad feeling about this. You shouldn't, man. You know, dwarves do pretty well against lizards. I think that Longbeards are very cost effective. Ironbreakers can be good too. Just some thunders and, you know, live your best life, man. In the Name of the Father. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've heard good things about that for sure. Yeah, I was actually just out in New York. That's why I wasn't streaming for the past couple days. I was in New York since Saturday. I just got back today or yesterday. I don't know what year it is, what day it is, but we were in New York. We went to Manhattan, went to Queens, spent some time in some of the boroughs. Saw some giant New York City rats running around. Some Skaven. Lorenzo saying adopt me. You know, the wife and I are going to be moving soon, actually. We're going to be moving into, because we live in kind of like a apartment here, but we're moving into a small town and we're moving into a house. So we have an extra room, so. Yeah, there you go. Templar Knight, thank you for the 279, man. Hey, Turin, what are your thoughts on the Siege rework? I'm very happy. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And look, and the thing is, like, anything can be better than now. Like, if they just make any changes to what we have now, like, I can't see it getting worse. Siege battles are probably the main reason why I don't do campaign on my channel too much, because I just hate siege battles so much. I don't like cheesing the AI that much. I like to have, like, you know, straight up fights mostly. I don't mind making like optimal armies against the AI that the AI struggles with, but I don't like hiding all my units on the edge of a wall and just like shooting over with arrows for like 30 minutes. Like, that bores me to tears. And it's the most efficient way to play if you're on like legendary or higher difficulties, but so I'm optimistic about it. Yeah. How did you pick a small town to move to? It's my hometown. So the wife and I went to visit a couple times, and she loved it, and I like it, and so we're gonna move back. And I grew up in a pretty small town. Like, growing up in my hometown, there was probably like 8,000 people, maybe. Yeah, 8,000 people. Now it's gotten much bigger. Now it's probably like 20 to 30,000, give or take. But it's still a pretty small town. Like, you can walk everywhere. It's like, it's really quiet, really peaceful, and has beautiful nature. And yeah, it's a great place. The Big Apple. Conrad, call him Herbert Walker. It's a strong name. Yeah, it is a strong name for sure. Oh, you'll be fine. This move is going to be totally fine. we have vetted the house better than we did on previous occasions. Because the first time we tried to move, which was like, it must have been close to a year ago. A little bit less. So we had this house, and it was suspiciously low priced for the area that it was in. And it turns out that the house had a very shady history and had a lot of internal problems that were like painted over and things like that. So it had like mold problems and a lot of shit. So basically, we called out the rental people on the problems, and they just let us out of the lease and let us go home, go back to our old place. But this house is definitely much nicer, and we've vetted it properly, and we should be all good. Yeah, I grew up in California. I grew up in a pretty small town. Yeah, the internet connection is good. I already called the local service provider, and it's actually better than my internet here in LA, which is pretty hilarious. So, yeah. Hey, Sotek, how's it going? Welcome. Sotek, you've been a mod on this stream before. I don't know why you're not a mod right now. I just promoted you anyways, but for some reason, you were always a mod. I don't know how that got changed. Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely shady. No, they weren't selling the house. It was a rental situation. Yeah. So it was like the house, they basically just painted over the problems, and they also hid the history of the house. Apparently, like, a bunch of like drug dealers had lived there before. So there was a lot of like shady characters like showing up and in and outside of the house type of thing. So we were like, okay, screw this shit. Let's get out of here. So yeah, we left that place and came back here, and now we're moving back sometime in the next couple weeks. Yeah. All right, so here we are in the battle. It's going to be Ye Old Lizards led by Chosen One, and he's going to be using Gorok. Gorok, bare bones Gorok is good. He's got armor piercing, he's shielded. He can fight the dwarf characters pretty well. Red Crested Skinks backed up by Kroxigor Spanking Paddles. We do have the double Arc of Sotek, I think? Let's go ahead and check here. Yeah, Arc of Sotek, which is pretty good. Even though it does do magic damage with its little snake launcher, it still does do quite a bit of damage over time. Oh, no worries, Sotek. Yeah. No worries, brother. So that's it. And up in the flanks, we got Pterodon Riders all around. Pterodon Riders are probably one of the most essential things in this matchup. They can drop rocks on tightly packed elite dwarven infantry. They can poke down slayers. They can dive backline missiles. They can do some very, very good stuff indeed. Now, for my son, Herbert Walker, there will be blood indeed. He's got cannons in the backfield, backed up by Rangers. Interesting choice. Rangers, I suppose, can be pretty good against red-crested skinks. The cannon's getting some massive value against that Arc of Sotek right away. My son does also have a basic Dwarf Lord here on the ground, and Triple Slayer in the back. No, Quad Slayer. Okay, a little bit vulnerable maybe against some of the Pterodon poke, but for the most part, the Rangers are turning around and shooting up into the sky and doing some good work here. Al, thank you for the $20 donation. Watch your stuff every day. Keep up the great content. I got you covered, man, and there's going to be a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. Now in the front, Miners getting down and dirty, getting the charge on the Skinks. Blasting charges being used on the other advancing troops here. Now, I think some Slayers will be required to pull into the front line relatively soon because the Dwarven Miner Infantry are not going to be holding very well. Now, a little bit of a mistake here in the backfield. Somehow that cannon does get taken out by the Powhawks of Sentinels. There weren't any Slayers defending it. Granted, it looks like I think it was just a really good rock drop, so I don't know if there was much that my son could have done. He will lose the Powhawks of Sentinels for it, which probably makes it a somewhat even trade, but that cannon was pretty essential for bringing down the Arcs of Sotek and things like that. Now, that's not to say that Rangers can't do the heavy lifting. You know, with the weight of fire and just free shooting, they will eventually grind down some of these targets, but overall, it's a little bit wild. Now, there is going to be some witchcraft going down. The Snake Launcher is used, and the Curse of Onrare is here, so many of the Dwarven troops that are fighting at the front are going to be rocking like 0 melee attack, or will be very, very low at this point. And now it's time for the Slayers to be pulled from reserve. They're going to have to get in there and start battling against, they don't want to be battling Skinks, but if they can get on the Kroxigors and or the big dinos, that's going to be pretty good for them. Longbeards with great weapons and Dwarf Warriors can hold for some time. Dwarf Warriors are not immune to psychology, whereas Longbeards are. That's why you often see Longbeards in this matchup. But overall, it seems to be a pretty close fight. The Jawi holding firm. It looks like a rock drop going to be coming from Chosen One in just a second here. So here it comes. And it looks like a nice dodge by my son, Herbert Walker. He must have seen that coming. He does dodge out of the way. And that was quite a smooth play right there. Now, Slayer's about to jump on top of the Kroxigors. Very, very cost-effective for them. Longbeards should hold back this unit, so that's a pretty good flank engagement for the Dwarves. And here on the high ground, the Rangers continuing to shoot in, doing their non-armor piercing damage. Not very much, but still weight of fire is bringing down that Bastillodon, and also the Kroxigors in the front are getting a little bit worn down by the combined force of Slayers, as well as Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Honestly, really, really close match. The Cannon crew has come back, may still be able to be a player in this game. We'll see if my son is going to be grabbing those bad boys and bringing them back in. It looks like your Pterodon Riders shall be descending from the heavens to attack these Rangers here in the back. Rangers are pretty okay. They're not Bugman's Rangers in combat, but they still do their thing. And we have a bunch of angry, half-naked dwarves charging in. Bare-chested, going to be getting them axes out and taking down these Pterodons rather quickly. And we got a pretty close game. This is very, very even. Great match between these two champions. My son Herbert Walker going to be pulling his Lord around and taking old Gorok for a Benny Hill. Gorok does have 34 speed, the Dwarf Lord 32, but it looks like that Dwarf Lord does indeed have the moves like Jagger and is able to get away there. Yeah, really, really good Ranger play. The Rangers have been able to sit and shoot this entire game. I'm pretty impressed with their performance so far. And now they're shooting into what appears to be that Ark of Sotek. The Ark of Sotek is going to be breaking here, and the hordes of angry Slayers continue to just chop through these forces. Both players saying, good luck, have fun. And the Dwarven Lord doing what he does best, which is running away from a very powerful, angry 1990s cartoon dinosaur. And he's going to be jumping here now and maybe attacking the Crocsgores. No, it looks like the Crocsgores are being pulled to go after the Dwarf Lord, or are they running from the Slayers? A little bit hard to tell. No, they're actually going after the Dwarf Lord. Slayer's going to be bouncing back to go after the Bastillodon with the Ark of Sotek. And now we do have a couple minor infantry moving in to go after the Skink cohort. Yes, it looks like it. And somehow this Skink Priest in the back actually did get busted down by the Rangers. The Rangers actually dropping some heavy focus fire. Looks like the Dwarves might be pulling ahead very, very close. Very, very close game here. But I think the Dwarves, in terms of the overall status of the battle, might be a little bit ahead. Although Rangers are running a little bit danger low in ammo. And let's go ahead and assess the Slayer situation, because Slayers are going to be very necessary to deal with some of the big dinos that do remain, like this unit of 12 Crocsgores back here, which looks quite angry for sure. Over here, the Bastillodon with 146 HP. Probably not going to be too much of a factor. My son Herbert Walker does also have a couple units of infantry back here, including a full health unit of Longbeards, which is going to be a very, very useful unit here in the late game. It gives you something to anchor on, this immunopsychology, tough unit. I think that Longbeards are one of the best infantry units actually in Total War in general. They're very, very good. Incredible stats for their price point, immunopsychology, great leadership. They really do their job and excel at it, and I do think they're one of the best units for that reason. Now, the Rangers still blasting in. It looks like a big, old, angry dinosaur blob has emerged somewhat victorious here as the last of the Slayers are dragged down by the Skinks, and the Dino Goon Squad is moving up. Bastillodon, Crocsgores, and the Dwarves are going to be unifying their forces, though. We still do have Dragonback Slayers here, which are pretty numerous. Going to be applying a slow here on top of these Crocsgores. Yeah, their speed right now is 30, so it's pretty good. The Dwarf Lord comes in with the atomic karate kick of the Ancestors and is able to slow down the Crocsgores, maybe even pick off a model. And man, there's just so many Slayers left, actually. We got 56 right here, and looks like only 5 in this unit. But for the most part, those Slayers are quite numerous. Now, Longbeards will be surging forward from the back, moving through the ranks of Rangers, trying to blunt the charge here of the Crocsgores. Should do a pretty good job. I mean, they're not going to do much damage, if any at all, to the Crocsgores, but they can hold them at bay, while the rest of the Dwarves just concave and collapse here on the Lizards. And it looks like, yeah, the red-crested Skinks are in the danger zone. Pretty good cold blood there by Chosen One. He drops it and is able to save the Bastillodon from breaking, most likely. It looks like its leadership was 15 at one point, which means that the Bastillodon would have been broken, actually, if not for the cold blood. But the Dwarf Lord gets in there. Does he get the karate kick? It looks like he does. And the Bastillodon Ark of Sotek. I love when, like, you have a Dwarf Warrior that has, like, a massive axe and, like, a shield, and then they're like, you know what? Or it's even better with the Empire when they're like, hey, man, I got a massive axe, or a greatsword, or like a sword and shield, and I'm just gonna like put my shield to the side and like Sparta kick this Chaos Warrior. Like, you know, like it's pretty ridiculous. I think it's one of the most endearing things about this game, but in general, it's pretty ridiculous for sure. Now, Gorok is going to be a pain to kill for sure. That's why the Dwarves want to keep that Dwarf Lord alive for the late game, so he can come in and cycle charge Gorok while he's surrounded by Dwarves. But it looks like the Dwarven Cavalry here are going to be hunting down. Yeah, we got 2 Dwarves here and 7. These are the most effective Dwarves of all time. Check that out. So they're moving in and going after the Bastillodons, the Crocsgores, and things like that, and getting that party started. In the back, some Rangers are falling. Chosen One scrapping pretty damn hard, but the Dwarves are pulling ahead and ahead here on this balance of power. As now you can actually see for the first time in the game, there is a noticeable lead that the Dwarves have, and they do have a shit ton of Slayers left. Even though Gorok is very tough to kill, incredible melee defense and high armor, like Slayers can surround him. They can do good damage. And then the Dwarven Lord can cycle charge him, which sounds funny, but it's actually a fact. And then while like Gorok is trying to react to the Dwarf Lord, he's going to be getting attacked by Slayers in the back and will be getting dragged down over time. I don't see much of an avenue for Gorok to carry this, although it could happen. I've had games where Gorok really, really goes deep. But the problem for Gorok here is that he doesn't have his items, so he's not going to be like, you know, the Rock of Itza and like the Mace of Ulamak and these things that he has that just make him super tough to kill. So I don't think he's going to be quite as devastating here. Now, Slayer's trying to chase down Crocsgores. Chosen One trying to rally his forces, which is smart. And the Slayers here should be able to get that Bastillodon off. I mean, if this Bastillodon came back, I actually think that Chosen One might have a pretty decent little chance here. Just comes back, like drops one snake batch in that blob of Dwarven, you know, infantry, and then it's, you know, potentially GG. But with the Ark being chased off, it's a whole different picture, my friends. Let me have a little sip of coffee here. Yes, glorious stuff. Ah, that's some good stuff right there. That's the good stuff. And here, the Slayer's continuing to hunt down Gorok. He is down to 2,500 HP, so he has taken a little bit of a beating from the Dwarven Horde. 68 Longbeards is going to be a meaty bunch of troops to get through. Chosen One scrapping so goddamn hard right now. You know, it's a little bit scary for the Dwarves as well, is if the rock drops are still available on the Pterodon Riders and they blob up around Gorok, the rock drops could single-handedly win the game. I doubt he has them, but he might. Which we'll see if my son Herbert Walker is privy to this. Is he going to be like, you know, ready for that? Like, I like what he's doing now. He has like 2 units in there. He's cycle charging with the Dwarf Lord. He's keeping the Slayers away from the blob, like mobile, ready to intercept. And look at that. Dwarf Lord actually hits Gorok, just like I said. And now what's going to happen is the Dwarf Lord can either stay and fight or pull back. And he pulls back. Very, very good play by my son Herbert Walker there. And now you just charge back in. Gorok is going to turn, attack something else, and the Dwarf Lord just comes right back in. Beautiful textbook execution there from my son Herbert Walker as he comes in again, gets the rear charge on Gorok. Gorok gets hit by something, and it looked like maybe it was the Slayers right there. He'll probably get one more attack, and he does connect. Now Gorok is down to 1,700 HP. Even if you don't have, like, quote-unquote armor piercing in your tooltip, you can still do quite a bit, obviously. There's probably a couple hundred of that damage that is armor piercing. You can get through his armor. So now the Lizards are going to be surging in. It looks like these Slayers are a little bit busy fighting some chaff over here, but the chaff is going to be breaking very quickly, and both players are pretty much throwing everything at one another here in this moment, as Chosen One is kind of running out of steam here a little bit. 1390 on your boy Gorok, but the Dwarf Lord able to push back the Pterodon Riders, and we still have 45 Dwarf Warriors, 5 Dragonback Slayers, not too many, blasting charges, as well as 31 Slayers here who are going to be a problem. And my son Herbert Walker has claimed the King of the Hill. He is now the Mountain King of the Hill. Very well played. Excellent match right there. It was a close one, a good old scrap, but in the end, the Dowie persevered with a very, very cool build. Rangers, yeah, good value on them. Not bad. Cannon even did okay, considering it got shut down early. Got a couple shots. Cycle charging Dwarves is quite legendary indeed. Dwayne Grok Johnson was not able to drop the Lizard's elbow today. And that is going to be it. GG, well played. Yeah. Oh, my son Herbert Walker says, I think he wasn't expecting to win because he's like, I have to get back to work. That was my lunch break. No problem. All right, so Chosen One has lost the game, but he will remain the King of the Hill because my son Herbert Walker has to get back to work. So Chosen One will stay, even though in our hearts, the Mountain King will always be my son Herbert Walker. We'll just keep his score at 1, though. All right. You can stay. All right, map is set. Chosen One, pick 3, ban 1. All right. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of my son. Yes, it was an excellent performance from him. We got Ice Power Total War versus the Chosen One. Chosen One. Man of the people playing Dwarves? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Dwarves have bad matchups? Yeah, quite a few. High Elves and Skaven are the worst. Like, Dwarves, like, just, like, it's so bad against Skaven. Skaven just wreck Dwarves so hard. Yeah, this is on the Cavalry beta, yeah. I think it's in the title of the video as well. We say it's in the Cavalry beta or something like that. Yeah. Winning Total War on his lunch break. I know, what a hero. He just, like, drops his work. He has 30 minutes to relax. Instead, he comes on and just picks the manliest faction of the game and just goes in there. Although, yeah, I think Dwarves and I think Empire is a pretty manly faction too. Like, they're not as, like, individually brave, but when you look at it, like, Dwarves are like, you know, they're like linebackers basically. They're jacked to the gills. Like, Dwarves, if you look at the fantasy art of them, like, you know, some of the art from, like, Gotrek, they're just like these monsters, like freakishly strong beings, right? Which is, you know, and they're also super brave and intense. Even against insurmountable odds, Dwarves will probably be braver than men. But, you know, when you look at the good old Sons of the Empire and, like, the Kislevites and things like that, they're just normal dudes, you know? Like, Hans is coming out with his, like, floppy hat. You know, he's got, like, some, like, you know, frilled pants, like a sword and a shield, and battling, like, a 7-foot-tall Chaos Warrior, you know? And, like, a dwarf, like, could probably, like, handle or fight a Chaos Warrior physically, right? Like, they're that strong. But, like, Hans and you know, some of the boys over in the Empire, you know, probably not, they they definitely don't have the physicality, but still they go out there. They fight for the Empire, you know. And Kislev even more so. Like, Kislev is like They're just in like one of the harshest places in the old world, like basically the border of the Chaos Waste, like miserable cold environment. Going out there with like fur jackets and just battling Chaos Warriors, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. My son Herbert Walker definitely settled the grudge. He did. So we got Dark Elves banning rats, and let's see what he plays. Tomb King, Skaven, and Norska. Wow, he picked the three worst, what he thinks are the three worst factions. Colonel Barbecue says, there is a 5th edition art of a dwarf lifting a donkey with a filled cart in one hand and killing an orc with the other. Yeah, no, there's like scenes in the books where dwarves will like lift a horse. Like they'll get under it and like push it over. Like they're jacked, dude. Dwarves are jacked to the gills, you know? Yeah. Carl Hans. No, Hans is one of the... He's a legendary character from my Empire games where whenever there's one Sigmar son left, it's always Hans. And he's just like Sparta kicking Chaos Warriors before he gets like cleaved in half, yeah. Hans is the man for sure. Kislev is a mix of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and the Russian Empire. Yeah, more or less. I mean, Kislev is like an amalgamation of Slavic culture. Like Russian, Polish, like that whole part of the world, yeah. I mean, you know, the Hussars, the Winged Lancers are basically like the Polish Hussars, and then like the Streltsy are more east of that, right, if I'm not mistaken. Streltsy are actually the unique unit for the Rus, or the Rus in Age of Empires 4. When you get to tier 4 with the Rus, or the Rus, I'm not sure how to properly say that, so you guys can correct me. But they are the unique unit. So we're going to have Streltsy in both Age of Empires as well as Total War eventually, which is quite cool. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Flagellants are pretty manly for sure. Yeah, they are. I think Gotrek powerbombed a Bloodthirster. Oh yeah, Gotrek. So Gotrek fights a Bloodthirster in the old world. Obviously, if you're looking at Age of Sigmar, Gotrek is basically a demigod, or a god of sorts, so he can like just smash greater demons no problem in the Age of Sigmar. Like I had a game where I had Gotrek kill like 3 Keeper of Secrets by himself. Like these massive demons of Slaanesh, he just like karate chopped 3 of them by himself. So in like Age of Sigmar, Gotrek is incredibly strong, whereas in Fantasy, Gotrek is a monster as well. He's not like his Age of Sigmar power level, but yeah, like there's a scene where he battles a Bloodthirster and Karag Doom, which is a lost dwarven hold in the Chaos Wastes. But he doesn't like do it alone. He has like some help. There's some external factors, but you know, he handles business. Yeah. Gotrek is super manly for sure. He's like definitely one of the coolest characters in general. Yeah. Gotrek's the man. Rus. Okay, sounds good, thank you. It's Rus with a soft S at the end. Just like Turin was saying it. Okay, Rus. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Okay, so... Oh my god, they're doing Norska. We got Norska versus Ice Powers Total War Dark Elves here. This should be interesting. Yeah, the Bloodthirster dies. Yeah, the Bloodthirster gets killed. Yeah, Gotrek. Because Gotrek has a super powerful axe, too. When Gotrek is in the Chaos Wastes, like, you know, he goes into this, like, forlorn cave and finds the skeletal remains of a dwarf. And the dwarf has, like, a rune axe of Grimnir, or, like, some ancient legendary axe, which Gotrek takes. Gotrek nearly died in his first Bloodthirster showdown, so Sotek needed a good bit of aid, but still going 1v1 versus Bloodthirster is insane. Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds more or less what I remember. Like, because there's like a crew with him. There's like Felix is with him, and there's other characters as well. Whereas in Age of Sigmar, I'm pretty sure Gotrek would just annihilate a Bloodthirster. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool. My favorite fight that Gotrek has, and one of my favorite fights, is when they're defending the walls of Prague. It's pretty epic. Like, they're basically up on the walls of Prague, and the Demons of Chaos and Mortals of Chaos are, like, attacking. The Tzeentch warlord is, like, attacking the city. And Gotrek and Felix are, like, up on the walls with these, like, badass Kislevites, just, like, holding back, like, the sieging Chaos warriors and stuff on the walls, and it's super heavy metal. Also, another really good fight is when... Well, because then Gotrek ends up fighting the Chaos Lord, who's blessed by Tzeentch at the end, which is a pretty cool fight. But one of my favorite fights is actually from a short story. He battles a Chimera. So basically, Gotrek and Felix get captured by this Araby, like, kind of warlord guy who's corrupted by some evil death artifact. And yeah, Gotrek basically, like, battles a Chimera in a gladiator pit with his bare hands, and he like grabs its jaws and like snaps it. Like it's like so cool, man. It's like such a badass scene. Yeah. Like, and because Felix isn't like in a prisoner cage, like watching him, he's like, oh, Gotrek's like dead, right? He's battling this massive like beast bear, like chained hands and like no weapon, and Gotrek just gets in there and just like snaps the thing. I was like, oh, dude, metal. James Hands, after a tough crap day, thank God for a live stream. Hey, I got you, man. Sorry you're having a bad day. We're pretty early on. We're gonna go for another 2 hours or so. So hang tight and enjoy yourselves. All right. Looks like they're talking about bronies now. Oh, lovely. Okay. Start when ready. Let's get some gameplay. Old man can only do story time for so much. Dayton, I don't remember that part. Yeah. I'm sure it could have happened, but... Gotrek, by the end of his story, manages to fight a bloodthirster, keeper of secrets, and Be'lakor at the same time. See, that actually sounds like tabletop. Aren't Gotrek books kind of boring when he just kills everything? Not really, because, like, the thing is, it's like good old-fashioned, like, 90s, 2000s fun. Like, you know the ending is more or less going to be, like, happy, and it's about exploring the Warhammer world, right? There are times where Gotrek gets, like duped or outmaneuvered by these, like, villains, or he's, like, losing, and then there's external factors that help him, like Felix or his, like, teammates or something, but it's fun because it's more of an exploration of the Warhammer world. You're not reading Gotrek and Felix books for, like, in-depth, like, you know, dynamic character storylines where they just like, you know, they actually fail. It's not like, it's just a fun, like, good old experience. It brings me back to like my childhood when I would read like the R.A. Salvatore, like Forgotten Realms, the Drizzt books, and like, you know, it's got that good old like innocent. I mean, it's brutal, obviously. He gets his like eye gouged out, like he's bloodied, like it's really brutal. But like, yeah, it's more about like the exploration of the Warhammer fantasy world. Yeah. Skarbrand, so Skarbrand versus Gotrek. Skarbrand would probably defeat Gotrek in the old world, but Skarbrand versus Age of Sigmar Gotrek, he would probably lose. And I can tell you from experience, Gotrek would probably defeat Skarbrand in tabletop. He is a monster in tabletop. Yeah, Felix is usually the one getting wrecked, because the book is from Felix's perspective. It's not, you don't get Gotrek's perspective outside of what Felix sees. So, yeah, Felix is always getting wrecked and like tossed around while Gotrek just like, you know, slays people, which is pretty fun. Yes, I do remember that. Steven, notice you got 69 million video views. Holy shit, what is it? We should celebrate. Steven, thank you so much for the 100 NOK. So apparently we have 69 million video views on the channel. It's a landmark we reached today. Thanks to all of you. I think it's better than 100K, damn. Damn, that's good. Steven, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Thanquil's really funny. Thanquil is like, in the books, is just like the ultimate troll to Gotrek and Felix. He just like always fails, but just barely gets away and cackles to troll them again, you know. Gotrek in tabletop is incredibly strong, but what a lot of people forget about him is that he only moves 4 inches. So like in a lot of my games against Gotrek, people will like charge him like, oh, well, I got to deal with him, and then they lose because he's just a monster. But I've played against better people in tabletop who just ignore Gotrek. He only has 4-inch movement, and like they just like laugh as he's just this potato moving across the table, right? So that's more how you deal with him. Basically, Gotrek has a special rule in tabletop where he reduces any amount of damage to 1. And then once he takes said damage, he gets an extra save where if he rolls a 3 up, he just ignores it. So let's say you get like a big Chungus monster that hits Gotrek for like 10 damage. It's going to reduce that to 1 damage. And then Gotrek gets a chance to ignore that 1 damage on a 3 up. So he is just freakishly tough to kill. Now, you know who's one of the best characters at killing Gotrek in tabletop, who actually is the master of killing Gotrek in Age of Sigmar, is Sigvald. Prince Sigvald has an ability called like Godslayer or something, where he's able to ignore ward saves. So he just gets right through Gotrek's business and just does a ton of damage. Like Sigvald is really, really good at killing Gotrek in tabletop. Granted, one-on-one Gotrek will still win more often than not, but Gotrek also costs 200 more points than Sigvald. So it's a really, really good trade for Sigvald. Yeah, you just ignore him. All right, so the battle's underway. Sorry about that. We do have Norska versus the Dark Elves here. It's going to be chosen one with a massive core of Marauder Horsemen, with a backfield of Berserkers and Marauders, Condom Wolves, as well as a big Hound Core. Now, Final Transmutation is going to be the spell, which against Ice Power's Manticore style of play is very good. For example, if we do have Marathi and the Manticores moving in to dive, you can drop a big Final Transmutation, and you can live long and cackle. Now, at the Druchii army, it's very classic Ice Power. We do have a fair amount of mobility with double Manticore Marathi, double Canid Assassin, as well as Scourge Runner Chariot. So basically, it's just like using your SEMs to their maximum efficiency, and that is it. that is it. Let us know your predictions in the comment section below. These are both very, very strong tournament players. Ice Power Total War, of course, playing in the ECL Grand Finals, as you guys saw in the previous one. I can't remember how he did. I think he played in the last ECL stream we had, and he did lose to Anticity, but it was a great series. And Chosen One, of course, we've seen in many tournaments, but he has kind of handicapped himself here by playing Norska. Granted, Druki, aren't the strongest faction either, so it makes for an interesting matchup. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A little bit of a flank engagement. We do get the Dark Riders moving in against the Marauders, not doing too much damage, and it looks like there's going to be a counterplay from the Condom Wolves, looking like they want to move in there. Do a little bit of poke and stroke. Overall, Marauders now battling in the front versus Bleak Swords. Marauders, especially Norskan Marauders, should have the advantage there, because they do have the Enrage mechanic. If you guys haven't seen this, Warriors of Chaos do not have it, but the longer they fight, they get leadership, physical resist, and melee attack, which is quite cool. And the Norskan Hounds also moving in, which I kind of like. Norskan Warhounds can be pretty aggressive. It looks like Seafang coming in from Wolfric right there. Should be able to wreck those Bleak Swords pretty hard, and it does. Ice Power doesn't have too much skirmish, actually. He's mostly got the Scourge Runners. Doesn't have, like, repeater crossbows or things like that. Ooh, that's going to be a big old juicy Soul Stealer. Damn, that's a thick Soul Stealer. Right there on top of that blob right there. Does nail the Warhounds and a couple other units. It's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Wasn't the most devastating. It didn't get like the Condom Wolves or other units. And now we do actually have Slaanesh's Harvesters moving back here, which I think is a mistake. Yeah, because what's going to happen is Chosen One, he's going to come over here and just get his Hounds on top of the Harvesters. And then also we have Norskan Ice Wolves, which have Frostbite, so there's not going to be any escape for them. Granted, there could be some sort of a response from Marathi, although I think Soul Stealer should be on cooldown. No, it looks like, oh, that was from the Harvesters. Okay. That makes sense indeed. And now a good goon here by your boy Ice Power Total War. He is able to get a jump on the Shaman Sorcerer. And Wolfric also got wrecked, so while we were looking at those other engagements, we did not see this happening, but that's probably going to be game blouses. Losing Wolfric plus your caster here, or at least getting them that low, is pretty disastrous for sure. A big Final Transmutation though. That could be decent. It's going to hit Marathi as well as the Canade Assassin. It is overcasted, so this could be an opportunity for Norska to get back in the game. Looks like Wolfric has survived, and he is broken, or he was broken, but now he has returned. He has been reforged. Marathi getting nuked pretty bad. Granted, she can still heal, so she's got some tools to get back in the match. Balance of power actually pulling in the favor of Norska a little bit, as Marathi just gets absolutely dunked on by that Final Transmutation. We still do have a couple Feral Manscores, which are going to be, difference makers here in this battle, but if the Skin Wolves can survive to the point where they can get one-on-one isolated fights versus those bad boys, Skin Wolves will tear apart Manscores very, very effectively. So here we got Berserkers fighting Dark Riders. Dark Riders, of course, lightly armored. Not infantry, so the bonus versus infantry doesn't kick in, but Berserkers don't care that much. They still have like 60 plus melee attack right now when they're all enraged. So they should be able to actually put some big hurt on that Manscore with a little bit of proper micro. Good skirmishing here from Chosen One. He's basically just pulling back and, dragging these big feral beasties through the mud, and we'll see what kind of work he can get done. More charging coming in from the Dark Elf Cavalry, but the Berserkers holding on like champions and getting some good damage against that Manticore. As a matter of fact, they actually managed to get that Manticore rampaged. Now it looks like Marathi's going to be dropping a single Soul Stealer here on the Skin Wolves, but a very good split by Chosen One. He pulls those units apart to make sure that Marathi doesn't get the maximum value there. I wonder if the Marauder Horsemen are going to charge in and just try and bunker bust these guys. Berserkers jumping on top of the Canade Assassins, and Wolfric is doing the right thing. I think Wolfric just stays back. Just wait till the late game, wait till you can cycle charge in, because if he comes closer, the Canade Assassins are going to kill him is a problem. And so too are the Manticores, because, yeah, just save Wolfric for late game and use his Hunter of Champions whenever it's off cooldown. I think that's really how he has to play this game. Looks like he's going to go in, maybe? It's like he was thinking about it. He was exploring the idea. Ice Power Total War has a pretty nasty little mobile goon squad, of course. He's got his Manticores and his Spears and his other units over here getting ready to party, but Wolfric going in on the Canade Assassin here, but the Web of Shadows and some of the debuffs here, of course, doing some work, but the Canade Assassin also taking a little bit of a beating. But it looks like Wolfric does get taken out because he's being shot by the Scourge Runners, the other Canade Assassin here, and at the very least, though, Wolfric did do some good damage before he went as well. And now we get the Condom Wolves moving in, which is going to be scary because Marathi will be much better in the blob fights. Soul Stealer most likely on cooldown, but I think using the Marauder Horseman's ammunition before you take that is going to be the best bet here for Norska. So one, Condom Wolf getting back. Also, something else you have to remember is that since Ice Power Total War is in a big blob now, that a Final Transmutation could be a big game-changing play. On top of that, we do have a Rampaging Manscore, so this is a huge opportunity for Chosen One. Chosen One to jump on the Feral Manscore and potentially do some good work. So he does get on the Manscore here. Manscore is taking quite a beating, and also the Norskan Hounds moving in, but the Dark Elves are going to be responding pretty quickly to this, sending over Marathi and the Manscore. Obviously, Ice Power knows he needs to keep his army together. He needs to keep that big, nasty Dark Elf blob with all the debuffs and, Web of Shadows and these various tools that the Dark Elves have with their Canade Assassins. So there's a big blast. I think that probably, since the Manticore lived and Marathi is still somewhat healthy and there's 2 incarnate assassins, I don't think that the Norskan army is going to be able to do much. Obviously, Chosen One is saving up for another final transmutation. He's really, really holding on. Looking to get that big, juicy bombardment. But in the end, I think Ice Power Total War has held on here and will be claiming victory with his beloved Druki against everyone's, least favorite faction, Norska. Just in the pits of hell, just being terrible as usual. Chosen One did a good job, though. He fought well. He fought well, for sure. I feel like Norska's in a really, really bad place in the meta right now. Just outdated. Like, Warriors of Chaos and Bretonia, like, never have gotten really updates, but they're both still good. They, like, aged well. Like, Chaos is competitive. They have a great win rate. So, too, with Bretonia. Bretonia is a really, really strong faction, but there's something about Norska that just did not age well. Perhaps it's their lords? I don't think so, though. I really don't know. Well, anyways, it's going to be another bombardment here. It's only going to get Marathi. I think in order to win the game, he might have had to get, like, the 2 Candidate Assassins instead. That would have been a little bit stronger, but I don't know. Marathi's taking a little bit of work here. Could there be a comeback for Chosen One? Chosen One? Could there be? We'll see. So no more magic. What you see is what you got. You know, Skirmish Cavalry, Marauder Horsemen still maximizing what they can with their throwing weapons. There's still, like, a full health Manticore, too, which is going to be a huge problem. This one's coming back, which, you know, isn't too healthy, but it's still enough to cause problems, although it looks like it's going to break there. Pretty fortunate. And the Shaman Sorcerer suffering from army losses as the victory is claimed by the dreaded Ice Power Total War. GG, well played. GG, well played. So quite a scrap indeed. Quite a scrap indeed. But in the end, Marathi was able to win the day. Wulfric, you know, maybe if Chosen One hadn't had Wulfric get caught in that weird fight where he got, like, killed really quick in the beginning, maybe he could have done better. It was still a valiant effort. A valiant effort. GG, well played. All right, so now we can update this to Ice Power. Ice, ice, baby. And do it to it. Chosen One. It was a good scrap. It was a good proper scrap. No kings have been able to get past 1 today, though. And now we will go on over to a little troll country, man. A little bit of troll country. Is it the troll country? I always get this one wrong. God damn, it's so cold in here today. Freaking 65 degrees. Los Angeles, you're supposed to be warm. All right, first come, first serve. Password's 123. Anybody who wants to join up, come join the party. Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good stuff. That is the good stuff there. Who will it be? We have the mighty Subutai. As long as he doesn't disconnect here. Looks like he's struggling to get into the lobby. I think this happened with him before, unfortunately. Oh, Lewd Mama will always provide. Yes, Marathi did. And we do indeed have Subutai on Troll Country. Map set. Gullick, have fun. Ice pick 3, ban 1. The devious Ice Power Doom Squad, yeah. Password's 123, Rusty. Would love to have you in here, bud. Hope you're doing well. 1, 2, 3. Norska needs like 2 more legendary lords and like a couple new units, and I think we'd be fine. Yeah. It is indeed. Yeah, I'm very excited for Warhammer 3, guys. I'm really excited for the domination mode, like new multiplayer. The campaign's going to be fun, and I will do campaigns. I will be covering, you know, like full-on campaigns when the game launches. I'm going to be doing, you know, a Kislev campaign and probably a Nurgle campaign. And we have to bring the Hussars. They have to arrive and stomp the Chaos Warriors. Then after that, you know, I'll probably do some other campaigns here and there. Yes, in your 3. Yes, Ice Power, you can play Dark Elves once again. They just have to be one of your 3 factions, Troll Country. Subutai is a Beastmen player. He's a very, very strong Beastmen player. Was even quite good with Beastmen before the rework, so he is a man of the Beast people. Yeah. They should make a reality show called Troll Country, hosted by Throg. It'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know what would be going on there. Mostly just battles, I suppose. But, you know, it's always fun. Yes, yes. What you got going? What will be the pick for the Ice Power? Probably Dark Elves. I don't know what else he really likes to play, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see him play Dwarves. I don't think he plays Dwarves, though. We did get a very epic Dwarf game earlier. For anybody who's joining, we had my son Herbert Walker come on and have an excellent Dwarf match. Unfortunately, he had to leave to work, despite winning King of the Hill. But, or taking over the crown of the King of the Hill. Do you think Valkia the Bloody will start as a Norskan or as a full legendary Cornate? So Valkia is like the bride of Khorne, basically. So like it would be kind of silly if she wasn't like on the Khorne faction, in my opinion. Yeah, like she's gonna have to be Khorne. Like no, I don't even know who they would give to Norska. You know, there is like a weird chance that man, Norska's just so outdated and haggard, man. It's like in campaign and in multiplayer. Who would they have as like what are some options for other Norskan lords? They could also just like expand on the lore of Norska and like add in some new characters, kind of like how they did with Solastra, because she wasn't even in the game before or in Warhammer Fantasy. They could do something like that with Norska. There's other Norskans who we can throw out. Yeah, is there? Okay. I'm glad to hear that. So Dark Elves, Empire, Bretonnia, banning Dwarves. Okay. Which is good, because Dwarves are a counter against Empire. They're pretty good against Bretonnia, and you know, Dark Elves is an even matchup, but basically you could pick Dwarves and ban Dark Elves here, and then it would be favored for the Dwarves. Yeah, Famir Lord would be really cool. No, Peter, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing, well, not good, but yeah, doing all right. Not under the weather, though. But, oh, yeah, Egil Stormborn, right? Isn't that his name? Sail the Faithless, GW invented Famir Matriarch. Yeah, Famir Lord would be really cool, like a Swamp DLC where we get a bunch of Famir units. That would be really badass. Yeah. That'd be really fun. Hopefully we get some of that lovin'. So Subutai needs to ban something here. So, yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gotten Sirtha Ek. Like, if they like did a DLC, I would like to see a Norskan DLC where we get like a Famir Swamp DLC, and then we also get like an FLC of Sirtha Ek as a meme. And he has like massive campaign buffs to chariots, and like he gives like has an aura that increases the charge bonus of nearby units by quite a bit. So then a multiplayer Sirtha Ek, you could run him with like chariots and like give him over 100 charge bonus, and it would be really badass. Just make him like not super tough, but like really the Lord of Chariots. Lore Master of Sotek saying, we need a custom Famir Matriarch, a monstrous spellcasting lord with lots of debuff abilities. Yeah, that sounds great to me, dude. I think that'd be awesome. Poor Norska is just so haggard, man. So haggard right now. And like, I feel like Norska is going to be like a running joke for a long time. Like, Norska probably won't get shit until like the 3rd or 4th DLC in the game, right? Because they're going to want to focus on all the new shiny things, like not deal with Norska's bullshit. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. They're like the last hardcore meme faction in multiplayer. I mean, Chaos is still a meme in multiplayer. Their campaign's pretty terrible, but Chaos is probably going to get reworked like right away because they're like so in sync with the other Chaos factions. Yeah. We'll find out, my friends. We'll find out. Turin, if you defeat Cetra with a Norskan lord named Sirtha Ek, that lord gains a huge buff to chariots. Is that actually true? Yeah, there's a lot of like little nuances of campaign I'm not aware of. Okay, we got Bretonnia versus Beastmen. This is going to be fun. This is a great matchup. Great matchup here. One of my favorites to actually play and watch. Hey, thank you for the 250 ARS. I have no idea. You have to tell me where that currency is from, but thank you so much, dude, for that very generous donation. It comes out to like 20, 30 bucks. Thank you, dude. F for Norska, just played my first ever multiplayer with them today and love them. Here's to a hard road. Yeah, I mean, look, you can still win with Norska. Like, I've had great wins with them, but they're just like a little tougher. They don't, like, it's not as easy. Yeah. Werebears? Dude, if we could get werebears, I'd be so stoked for that. Would the Kislevites tame them and learn how to ride them if they had werebears? Probably so. Probably so. All right, so Norska, yeah, Bretonnia versus Beastmen. Players are picking their armies. Now we could just kind of hang tight. Enjoy each other's company here for a hot minute and go from there. And yeah, live our best lives. That is that. So my predictions for Warhammer 3. Obviously, we're going to get, you know, the 6 main factions plus Ogre Kingdoms. You know, it's got to be Ogre Kingdoms. And then from there, I think some of the first DLCs will be Chaos Dwarves. Like Chaos Dwarves versus... You could do Chaos Dwarves versus like if they want to like continue the tradition of updating like old world factions with like a new one, I think it'd be really cool to do Chaos Dwarves versus like regular dwarves. That would be the coolest thing, like just a grudge match. That would be so goddamn cool. And I think if you do Chaos Dwarves versus regular dwarves, what you do is you do the Chaos Dwarves, obviously, with all their goodness. And then for the basic dwarves, you do Malachi Mykosin. He's a legendary lord for the dwarves who would be an engineer and a slayer. So he'd be like a hybrid combat lord with slayer capabilities, unbreakable. He has a long rifle as well. and you add in some dwarven like mechanical units. So you add in like an ROR war blimp that's like an ROR gyrocopter, but instead it's or an ROR bomber. Well, I guess you already have Skyhammer, but basically it would be like a dwarven flying blimp. I think you could add in some other dwarven units, like you could add in the runic golems, because from a lore perspective it makes sense, because Malachi Mykosin goes on an expedition to the Chaos Wastes. So he would be more like involved with like being in the realm of the Chaos Dwarves, and also Malachi would be really good because he's an expedition type character. So like him being like in these foreign locations that dwarves normally wouldn't be would be very lore friendly. Yeah. So I think that would make sense. Yeah, like dwarves versus Chaos Dwarves is just too grudge. It's too grudging to have. Like imagine how epic the trailer would be, right? You have like just this like Malachi talking about needing to strike out a grudge, and he's like flying his huge like doom blimp or something. Like that would be so goddamn cool. Yeah. I would probably have an erection if they did that. Yeah, for sure. Would you say there's any faction that isn't playable right now? Asks Sean Green. No, I think every faction is playable. Some are stronger than others, but depending on the matchup, you know, that changes wildly. Yeah. So Alexander says, Turin, I saw the stats of the third and second stage qualifiers of the World Championship 6 months ago, and Norska have a better win rate than Coast. Yeah, they do. They did then. I feel like Norska's kind of fallen off right now. But yeah, Vampire Coast did very bad in the World Championships. Very, very bad. So did Tomb Kings. They were both pretty terrible. But, you know, it's all matchup specific, man. Norska has some decent matchups for sure. And Alexander, you also have to take note of like what part you're looking at. Okay, so you're looking at the second stage qualifiers. Okay. If you really want the best, like the best from like, you got to look at like the finals and like the top brackets and see how they did there. But yeah, generally Norska had like, I think like a 40% win rate or something. Yeah, it was like 40, 45%. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, if like Cathay can have like giant terracotta warriors, I think that the dwarves can have a rune golem. Like, I don't think it's asking too much. But like, you know, I think that'd be really neat. Like runic guardians or golems or something, and then you have like the war blimp, you have Malachi. You can add in some other like variant units. I think there's a couple dwarven units we are missing. I did some research on that a while back. I don't know which ones they would be. Does Norska have any good matchups? Well, a while back, Norska was considered very favored against Skaven. I don't know what it's like. I think it's more even now, but Norska does do pretty well against Skaven in my experience. Norska, who else are they okay against? I feel like Norska versus Empire is actually an even matchup. Like, I feel like that one can be like a good matchup. I don't think there's too many matchups aside from Skaven that people used to consider Norska just being dominant in. Actually, Norska was considered favored against High Elves also. The Sea Fang and the Pendulums are really good against the Elvish formations, yeah. So, you know. You got options, my friend. Yeah, Doomseekers. Yeah, Doomseekers would be great. Yeah, the Anti-Infantry Slayers. Thank you, Senior. True hero. Coming in, letting us know what's up. What other DLC? So yeah, we'll probably get Chaos Dwarves very, very quickly. And then from there, what they're probably going to do is once we get Chaos Dwarves, they'll probably add in like all the other lords for the Chaos factions, right? So like Kislev will get more lords. Cathay will get more. We'll get like a couple, like 2 more new lords for each of the Chaos factions, like Nurgle, Slanesh, whatever. And then I think once they get like a year to a year and a half in, I think we're going to see a faction like Ulrich, like Midland. I think we could see Musion. I think we could maybe see like Nippon or Ind or one of those type of factions. Like that could happen. But I think Musion and Ulrich are more likely because Ulrich and Tabletop had unique units, right? So I think seeing an Ulrich sub-faction of the Empire would be smart. And that's also very financially wise because the Empire is the most played faction in the game, hands down. So if you add another faction similar to them, I think it would be very lucrative. The DLCs would sell quite well. So you could have like Ulrich versus like Norska. That would be perfect because Midland is there. So when they do like a DLC for Norska, or Ulrich versus like, you know, some Chaos God or something, right? Which would be really rad. Oh, Rusty, they are going to rework Chaos for sure. Yeah, to an extent. Hey, darling, need something?
We're going to have a doctor.
All right. So the battle's underway. The Beastmen moving in, and the Bretonnians preparing to advance. Knights of the Realm are hands down the most effective in this matchup. They have anti-large, and most of the Beastmen monsters are lightly armored or not heavily armored, so you can get in there with Knights of the Realm and do some work. Alberic is not bad. He does give anti-large to nearby units, so you can give anti-large to Battle Pilgrims and things like that, and they can fight better versus like Minotaurs. The Beastmen army is going to be Centaurs the Throwing Axes, backed up with the Jabber Scythe and Morker the Shadow Gave, and a Bray Shaman of Death. So Questing Knights and Bretonnian Cavalry really hammering in very aggressively in the front, able to get some okay damage, but for the most part, I think the Bretonnian Knights are going to want to pull back rather quickly. Losing no models and sacrificing the initial peasants to, take the brunt of the charge. This is also another reason why I love Knights of the Realm here. They in general have good shock damage, so they can move in and really hammer down like Ungor herds and get some good value there. Now in the backfield, we do have a Bray Shaman of Beasts who has gotten on top of the Battle Pilgrims. He is on a Tuskor Chariot, so not going to want to fight too much there. Love you too, draw. Sorry about that. And in the backfield, the Peasant Bowman trying to unleash on the Centaurs of Throwing Axes, which is smart. We do have a little bit of a tactical reserve play here from Subutai. It looks like Subutai may have left the Jabber Scythe back there for a little bit too long. And now Yield Jabber Scythe is going to be waddling in, while the Sons of Goros are actually trading quite effectively versus Knights of the Realm, because they were buffered with some basic chaff units, but now they maybe overextend a little bit and will need to pull back because of the peasants. On the other side of the battlefield, King Lewin, Alberic with the regrowth, going to be jumping in and bestowing anti-large in the Battle Pilgrims. Granted, it's not going to help them against Morker. Where is your boy Alberic going to be going? It's hard to say. Peasant Bowman in the back trying to work on the Chaos Spawn. Morker has dropped his payloads. Subutai here taking a big blob fight over on the wings. The Jabber Scythe is Mortis Engineing down many of these units, but not the Knights of the Realm or the Battle Pilgrims. Both of their leadership is a little bit too high. So for anybody who's new to the game, the Jabber Scythe has a conditional Mortis Engine effect, so basically it does damage over time to nearby units that are below 50% HP. So against like mega high leadership units like Battle Pilgrims and Knights of the Realm and things like that, it's actually a little bit tougher to kind of crack their leadership down quickly. So Alberic and the boys doing good here, though. Alberic's presence able to help kind of crack the Beastmen support units, and it looks like he is going after the Bray Shaman, but he is taking quite a bit of damage from Morker's Pimp Claw in the process. Knights of the Realm, anti-large bonus on the Bray Shaman, should be able to get some good work in. And the spawn unit of Morker will get a charge, and certainly will take out some models, but probably will break. But that's not before Alberic is able to successfully get that Bray Shaman, and now he needs to make sure to punish that caster, because there probably is a Manticore summon, a second Manticore summon that could come on the battlefield here. So chasing down that Bray Shaman, I think, would be extremely prudent. So big Knight of the Realm charging Questing Knights, it looks like. Yeah, mostly Questing Knights hammering in here and trying to liberate or take down the second Beastcaster, going after the Bray Shaman. And they actually get a full surround, and the Manticore is also rampaged. There are Knights of the Realm here who are anti-large, and you can see they're getting a lot of damage on that unit. Certainly very impressive. It looks like the Beastmen might be a little bit ahead in this game. Subutai may be able to do this, but you have to remember that Morker accounts for an obscene amount of bounce of power, which is really not accurate. So in reality, the bounce power right now is more even. There's still that bug with Beastmen where their lords count for like a lot of bounce of power, which is very, very weird. So Peasant Bowmen with the Pox arrows shooting in. They no longer friendly fire. It looks like the Jabber Scythe able to break down this Questing Knights, backed up by the Bray Shaman. Also, fighting in the woods will put a bit of a penalty on cavalry, but also on monsters, so a little bit of a trade-off there. But overall, the Jabber Scythe able to win the day with the Bray Shaman and break down those Questing Knights. But back in the epicenter of combat, the Bretonnians seem to be in a little bit of a better position as they continue to give anti-large to these Battle Pilgrims, and not terribly useful here, but here comes Centaurs with Throwing Axes, maybe looking to get in, probably using throwing weapons against Knights of the Realm. And here we have the Knights looking to chase down these Centaurs who are pretty low in ammo. A great opportunity for Alberic, though. Look at this. This is some buttered bread right here. This is a buttered croissant, and this thing needs to be taken down. One leadership. Come on, give it the business. Looks like it might just break from the encroaching spears, which is pretty funny. But Alberic, he's a Bretonnian lord, and as it is with Bretonnian lords, they want the biggest prize. They want the most chivalry and glory. So he's going after the Jabber Scythe and letting his lowly peasants deal with the haggard Bray Shaman here. So going after the Jabber Scythe, we'll see what he can do there. And it's going to try and run. Jabber Scythes are anti-infantry monsters, actually pretty subpar in SEM duels, but it still does pack a little bit of a punch. But for the most part, Alberic is going pretty deep here, and the Jabber Scythe is at 2,000 HP. Morker just being Morker, just sitting in one spot and just mouth breathing and being surrounded by infantry is usually what Morker does, and he does it very, very well, mind you. But the Peasant Bowmen and the Pox arrows really proven to be huge. I think that Bretonnia looks like they're pulling ahead in this match. Morker bounce of power was more or less a false inflation. Knights of the Realm chasing units off. The Bray Shaman did come back. Might actually get finished off by some of these rallying knights here. It looks like the Knights of the Realm, if Subutai doesn't see that, might get punished here. Alberic pulling back up in the sky. I'm going to just continue to cycle charge the Jabber Scythe, I would imagine. It looks like he did get another regrowth and is at his healing cap. And the last of the Centaurs about to get some just fully couch direct lances here from the good old Bretonnian Knights. And Alberic charging in, just looking super Chad as he descends from the skies. So there goes the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. They'll probably be broken here, probably be chased off the battlefield despite their perfect vigor. The Jabber Scythe fighting like a champ. The Beastmen do have some healing on the table, but the fact that the bounce power is this bad is really, really grim for the Beastmen because they always have an advantage on the bounce power. Beastmen do. So this is like almost army losses if it's any other army and not Morker. Looking around, couple Centaurs trying to liberate, but honestly 12 Knights of the Realm might be able to do some big damage, and the Peasant Archers just torrents of fire here into these guys, and throwing axes do drag down a couple of those fair Bretonnian Knights, but the Knights do catch a couple of Centaurs as well and are able to lance them down. May break them off the battlefield, and now it's only a matter of time before army losses kicks in. There are 2 Peasant Bowmen here for Ice Power Total War, which can happily shoot at the Jabberslythe, and the Jabberslythe is just going to eat it right in the face. And when the Jabberslythe does break, you know, it's probably just going to be game. I think army losses will kick in if the Jabberslythe breaks. We'll see. Kind of weird with Beastmen sometimes. Yep, negative 146. It gets broken, just like the prophecy foretold. The Beastmen will suffer army losses, and that is it. GG, well played. Yes. Good. Good, Anakin, good. And that is a victory for Ice Power Total War. Alberic did great, did fine. Knights of the Realm are MVPs though, man. 1,000 value on almost all of them. They're such a good cavalry unit. I think Knights of the Realm are probably one of the best cav units in the game. They do pretty good against infantry, light infantry, and also very good against like cavalry and things like that. So a cool unit. Battle Pilgrims are great. They hold pretty good against Beastmen shock damage. It was a close game. The dreaded Jabberslythe was probably the weakest link there. That bad boy kind of struggled. All right. A nice recovery indeed by Ice Power Total War. A very, very scrappy player he is. And now we go on 2. So Ice Power is our current King of the Hill. Nobody has gotten more than 2 today, which is pretty funny. Tower Foeth will be the map for the next game. Let us go ahead and see who joins. Maybe I'll change the map. Who knows? I'm going to explore some other options. Peasant Archers are an unholy terror. They are. They're very, very cost effective. Very, very cost effective indeed. At what, only 400 Gs for those bad boys? You like the thumbnail? I thought today's thumbnail was pretty good too. Sometimes in fever dreams, I just have inspiration for thumbnails, and that's what emerges. The fever dream thumbnail. Yes, it's a mythical thing. So the only sub-factions that I think are somewhat decent, maybe, I mean, okay, I think Followers of Nagash isn't terrible. Because Ark in the Black is already the best lord, and people just expect him anyways, and then you get access to, like, a couple units, like Fellbats and Direwolves, I think, and Crypt Ghouls, which can be pretty good, so, like... But still, like, the problem is, like, with the Followers of Nagash is you're using Vampire Count units that can't be healed. And Vampire Count's units are banned, or not banned, but balanced around being healed by Vampire Count stuff. So they kind of, like, are a little haggard. And also, I don't think the Vampire Count's units get access to the Realm of Souls. Yeah, so it's, like, it's kind of shit. Okay, what other sub-factions are okay? The Lithanar sub-faction sucks, because he's not, like, the best, and Shadow Walkers suck, too, in multiplayer. Followers of Nagash are like somewhat feasible. Yeah. The Bretonnian sub-faction's cute. Like if Rapunzel was like better, then that would be more of a thing because Henri Le Massif isn't bad. You know, it's a nice little anti-large character with a cool mount option. You know, Avalorn might be the best one, Robert. Like Dryads and like Tree Men and things like that, like... Because, like, it gives you different frontline options. So, like, usually High Elves have spears and, like, then expensive infantry. But, like, getting cheap Dryads in the front line can be very good. And Larry is already super strong. So, yeah, maybe Avalorn might be the best one. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. We were basically just saying that, yeah, the Tomb King sub-faction kind of sucks because they can't be healed, yeah. And they don't get the passive. Hey, Brutus, no worries, man. If you shoot me a message in Discord, I'll try and get you in the next one. The Warden, Eltharion. Yeah, no, but Eltharion's sub-faction doesn't have anything unique in multiplayer, sadly. You know, I wouldn't have been opposed to the High Elves getting some of those Mistwalker units, like in multiplayer, like some of them, if they were balanced a little bit differently. That would have been really cool. I'm sorry, Loopy. I'm sorry. I don't know if Arkan's Tombblade heals. Yeah, no, I don't think they can be healed, the ghouls. I don't think they get Realm of Souls either. Hey, we got Zyphos in here. The mighty French champion of ODM. ECL Season 3 champion, I think? Can't remember. Many moons ago. The Blessed Dread is the best one. The Blessed Dread is great simply because they have Dread in their name. That's like the only reason. Which is pretty funny. Yeah, the Sword and Board one would be fine, yeah. Eltharion is really cool. It's a shame that he's just not as good as he could be. All right, so Ice picks 3. Good luck, have fun. And we are on. It's Ice Power Total War versus Zyphos. You guys are getting like Hall of Fame matches today. Just all these tournament players going at it. Not too many younglings today. We have a lot of King of the Hills where there's many younglings sacrificed, but not today. Today there have not been too many younglings. Mighty says, I just finished painting a trio of Lord of the Rings armored trolls and Khorne paint scheme. That must look pretty badass, dude. Yeah, the Khorne painting Khorne models is fun. I really like all the red hues, and I find that red paints are really easy to work with, like, compared to other paints. Like, I really like using Mephiston red and Khorne red and, like, highlighting them with, you know, some of the lighter reds. The Dreaded Dread. That should be my sub-faction, yes. It's true. My favorite units to paint are probably, like, Nurgle units, though, because, like, even if you make mistakes, like, I've made so many mistakes on my Nurgle Death Guard units, but when I see it, I just, like, put some Nurgle's Rot over it. I'm like, boom! Looks great now, you know? Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, no younglings being massacred today. No, none. We haven't had, I don't think we've had a single youngling in today's King of the Hill, but we're still kind of early. We have another hour and a half, give or take. Yeah, we're going to go probably about 2.5, 3 hours today. So, Dark Elves, Tomb Kings, and Bretonnia banning dwarves. Okay, so dwarves are banned by ice power. At least we got dwarves earlier. It happened. My son Herbert Walker will forever be our resident dwarf champion on today's stream. Lorenzo asking, where are you guys from? Well, I am from the lands of California. I grew up in a pretty small mountain village with, 9,000-10,000 people. But have lived all over California. I've lived in the Bay Area. I lived in San Jose for many years when I used to work as an athletic director. Lived in Los Angeles and, Ventura and Santa Barbara and all over the place. Mighty, the link would be better in Discord, yeah, because what happens in stream chat is, like, YouTube just filters out links automatically to stop the bots. But if you go to my Discord section, there's a hobby section. It's for hobbying, basically, like, where people share their projects and talk about paint schemes and things like that. It's a great community we have there. So you can go there and share it there, and that would be your best bet. Ferret Knife says, I'm too lazy to download the beta to be sacrificed. It's because you're on the beta. Yeah, the younglings don't play in the beta as much. Yeah. Yeah, play paint. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. It's still tough to get in, but we'll do our best. Rapunzel's okay. She's not, like, terrible. She's just not the strongest thing in the world, yeah. Rapunzel isn't bad. She's not bad. But, like, compared to the other Bretonnian lords, she's definitely, like dumpster tier. Because, like, Lewin is a monster. Sword of Corone, passive healing, Lion's Shield. Then, boom, you have, like, Fey Enchantress, arguably one of the strongest lords in the entire game. Extremely cheap, cost-effective healing, Mortis Engine, mobile, durable with her resistances. And, like, even Alberic is probably better. Just because, like, he's anti-large. He has a decent activatable item. Yeah, so it's tough. Duras, you want some bread? You know, when I was in New York City, man. So I was just in New York City this last weekend, and my wife and I, we went to a Central Park, and we hiked the entire thing. It's pretty big, actually. But in Central Park in the middle, there was, like, this isolated area of Central Park in New York that you go into. It's like a nature reservation where you go in, and it's, like, kind of like the old primordial looking, swampland forest. And there was like this old man who was probably in his 80s sitting there on a bench, and he was feeding. He had like some sort of corn feed or something, and he was feeding, like, it was, like, surreal. Like, Anna and I walked up on him, and there was, like, probably like 5 or 6 squirrels, like 2 or 3 rats. There, I don't remember if there was a duck. There might have been one nearby that he was, like, feeding. Because there was, like, a little pond. Yeah, I think there was a duck or some sort of a bird-like creature. And, yeah, he was just, like, feeding them. It was surreal because New York is such, like, a concrete jungle, right? Such a city. And then you just go to this place and there's, like, this, old man in the woods sitting there just, like, like Radagast feeding a bunch of wild beasts. And they were, like, surrounding him, too. How's it going, Rubber Duck? Were you streaming today? Hope it was good, man. Hope it was good, brother. Yeah, there's some crazy shit. Someday you'll have money to travel to nice places. Yeah, New York's interesting. It's like, it's very intense. I live in California, so I'm used to, like, more, like, driving places and quieter environments. And going there, it's, like, really, really intense, man. Like, you get, like, the smell of the city and, like, just the culture. And, it's, my dad is from New York, though. My father grew up in upstate New York in Scarsdale, and then when he was 17 or 18, he moved into the city. So he spent a lot of his younger years in New York City and was an actor there and was doing Broadway and a bunch of theater stuff in his later years. And yeah, Yeah, it was. So, you know, I have some history there. I have a lot of family in New York City, like East Coast. Who do you think will occupy Chaos Dwarf settlements in Total War Warhammer 3? Oh, Skaven, for sure. Skaven will probably just be sitting in there cackling, you know? I think squirrels are really cool creatures. I like rats too. Like, I know a lot of people look at rats as like, you know, which understandable, right? They can carry disease and things like that. But I really like rats. I would actually have a pet rat. Like, they're really cool creatures. Incredibly smart too. Like, I had a friend growing up who had a pet rat, and it was very like loving and cool and like funny and like, yeah, like really interacted with you quite a bit. It was a cool creature. The saddest part about having a pet rat is they don't live very long. So it's like you gotta suffer that loss, you know, that painful loss, like after a couple of years. Well, Liam, California is relatively LA is a little bit of a noisy city, but where I grew up, in like not the cities of Southern California, I grew up in like a mountain town. It was very quiet. And also where I went to college in like Ventura County, Santa Barbara, Camarillo, California, they're all very quiet towns. Yeah, LA sucks. Oh man, I hate Los Angeles. Yeah. But, you know, like, I feel so bad because Lady Turin and I have lived in Los Angeles like the entire time she's been here, more or less. So this has like been her experience of California so far. So I'm really excited to be moving to a smaller town and give her like a true proper Southern California experience. Yeah. Yeah. We went to the Empire State Building in New York. It was pretty cool. We went to the top floor and like looked down. That was a fun experience, seeing all that. Yeah, no, you know how it is to suffer in LA. Most people move to Los Angeles for work though, because that's the reality of it. And same with New York, right? Like a lot of people move to these cities because there's work opportunities there. There's either industry or just like a lot of jobs available. Whereas in like small towns, like not as many jobs. So you get brought here from work. Personally, myself, I ended up living in LA because my family, we went in and bought a duplex in LA. So our family went in and we all contributed. Well, not all of us, but a couple of us. We contributed and went in on a duplex in Los Angeles, which we owned. So I live there. You know, I still pay into the mortgage and everything, but it was just very convenient, very cost effective. Ventura represent all day, man. I grew up in Ventura. Like, I grew up in a town called Ojai, California. And I went to Ventura every single weekend with my parents, and we would go to the beaches and do that. And I did live in Ventura for several years as well. Have you ever been to Europe? Yes, my wife is Polish, so I've been to Europe many times. Typically, we just go straight to Poland, but I have laid over in Germany and France and a couple other places, and I've seen a little bit, but not as much as I'd like to. All right, guys, so here we are. Enough reminiscing and chatting with you all. It is going to be ye old Ice Power Total War on the Bone Daddies, and he's going to be going for a Tomb King's Rush, facing off against the Elves of Xiphos, and Xiphos going for a box, which is hilarious. Oh my god, this is going to be a circus. This is going to be a circus. So, for Ice Power Total War, Skeleton Warriors, we got some Archers, we have a Lich Priest of Death, Chariots, Big Papa Cetra. I would imagine he's got, no, not all the bells and whistles, only Faw's Protection. And a couple of Ushapti Great Bows. Now, the funniest thing about this build is if Ice Power Total War had brought like 3 Ushapti Great Bows, like Xiphos would just instantly lose. It would just be over. Yeah, Ojai is the best. That's my hometown. And that's probably where we're going to be moving back to, actually. So now here up in the skies, Hawk Rider is coming in for Xiphos. So basically what Xiphos is going to do is he's going to sit his box here in the corner and cackle, and he's going to be attacking with his Hawk Riders as well as the Sisters of Twilight. Please, I beg of you, Xiphos and Ice Power, do not make me enforce rules on this game. I just am not in the mood for that. So please. Sipe asks, what is a duplex? A duplex is like a small building that has like several apartments in it. So basically it's like a, I don't know if I'd call it a duplex actually. We own a property that has it has 2 1-bedroom apartments and 2 studio apartments on the bottom. So it's like, yeah, and it's all rented out to mostly to family. We have a couple of friends who rent from us too, and that's that. But you know, we still owe a lot on the loan that we used to buy it, so it's not like we're making money on it right now. But at least we're paying mortgage into our own equity, which is cool. So yes. And the Bone Daddies arrive. They're saying good luck, have fun, good sportsmanship all around. Tomb King's doing pretty well here, honestly. The Skeleton Horseman Archers trading super effectively versus the Hawk Riders. You can see they're being dragged down. So too are the Ushapti Great Bow. They haven't lost any models yet, but here you can see the Sisters of Twilight going to be trying to focus down those Great Bows, while the rest of the Bone Daddy force just kind of chills, honestly. I don't really know if you need to advance in. That's a pretty risky gambit there. Oh, I thought they landed because of the angle. Like, look at that. It kind of looked like they were like fighting there on the ground for a second, but yeah, that's pretty funny. The illusion is here. And the Sisters of Twilight, 3,300, 3,341. getting popped a little bit by the Skeleton Horseman Archers, but Zyphos really committing heavily to this, and another Spirit Leech going to be going down as the Hawk Riders starting to take some serious damage for sure. 18 models here on these ones. These ones are still rocking 15. But one unit of Ushapti Greatbow probably will fall. Zyphos is getting his bread here. He is able to drag these guys down, and yeah, that's a pretty good early engagement. I mean, the dreaded Elven box is working. Now, what I'm curious is, will the Tomb Kings advance and try and tackle Zyphos' box, or are they just going to try and, like, outlast the ammunition? I think they have to advance and just harass with Skeleton Archer Horsemen while they do that, because if they just sit, like, Cetra's just going to get sniped. The Sisters are just going to sit on Cetra and bring him down super low. And Cetra is actually going to be incredibly important for dealing with this box back here, because he's going to need to bunker bust some of these units and get the terror routes and all that sort of stuff like that. So we will see. Skeleton Horseman Archers still doing their business. As far as the model count goes, let's see. So we have, man, I bet you Ice Power right now is like, God damn it, I should have brought one more Ushapti Greatbow or one more Skeleton Horseman Archers. Spirit Leech is bringing him down. Cetra's still pretty healthy, but the Sisters of Twilight just going to be sitting on Cetra. They do miss right there, so Cetra is able to juke and dodge and bob and weave and do the old Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope here as he does jump back and forth. These Archers getting quite beat up. So too are the Hawk Riders. Hawk Riders have lost 3 models here. It looks like 6 models here, give or take, and another 6 here. So they've lost a fair amount. More or less the equivalent of 1 Hawk Rider unit has been destroyed if you were to consolidate all the damage that has been done. With these Skeleton Horseman Archers are on the way out. Looks like he did actually bring 3 of those, but yeah, the Hawk Riders trading pretty damn effectively. The rest of the Bone Daddy army is getting in and getting ready to engage, while the Sisters of Twilight continue to hunt down Cetra the Imperishable, who's taking a little bit of damage. 1 Hawk Rider is down, and I wonder if Ice Power will be able to kind of corral them off the battlefield by running underneath. I've always been a little bit unsure of how that works, but Spirit Leech down on the other Hawk Riders. Now the sniping of the Lich Priest of Death is underway. Hawk Riders aren't cheap. I think they're like 800 gold, so yeah, the Roombas aren't bad. The problem with Roombas is Arrows of Kurnus can pop them, and obviously if he had brought like if you're going to go Casket of Souls against Wood Elves, I think it's not bad, but you need to really heavily invest in protecting it. So like, you would need like Archers, like Ushapti Greatbows, because otherwise the Hawk Riders and the Sisters will fly over it and just kill it, just like we saw happen here, right, with those Ushapti. So what's juking in this game? Well, juking essentially is a term derived from sports typically, but when you juke something is when you move side to side to avoid it. So for example, if you're playing American football, you have the ball, you're the running back, somebody tries to tackle you and you step to one side and they go the other way and miss you. That's like a juke. So juking in this game is when you grab like your legendary lord, for example, and you run side to side, you do like a serpentine pattern, and you can avoid missile shots by doing that. Not all of them, but it depends on the type of missiles, but that is essentially what juking is. So hopefully that was a little bit of a crash course on that for you. 1 Hawk Rider in ye old trash can. The other Hawk Riders here still doing all right, running a little bit low in ammo, and the Lich Priest of Death is in the danger zone. And now the Bone Daddies are going to move in. The first Chariots do get a nice charge onto the Eternal Guard here in the flank, and Cetra is using the trees himself to try and mitigate some of the fire. You know, Cetra might even be able to hide behind a tree or something, but honestly, if I were Cetra, I'd probably just get in there, because man, he is getting popped right in the face by those Sisters of Twilight. Balance of power is a little bit elf favored at this point, as they do collapse in here. The Firebark Elders are battling spears, but they're just so goddamn tanky with physical resist as well as, you know, armor. That's going to be tough. And Cetra is really just getting bodied here by the Sisters of Twilight. Ice Power probably not happy about this, as the Chariots just scream into the flanks, hammer into those Eternal Guard right here. And Cetra running in the bushes, not having a good time at all, man. So here comes the rest of the Tomb King's army. The Hawk Riders are very, very damaged, but I mean, they've done their job, right? They killed the caster, so I think the Tomb Kings lost their caster. However, they still have one with Cetra, but he can only use the... Oh my god, Sisters are just doing so much work here. Nasty, nasty lord. Let's see the damage they've gotten. And yeah, Tomb Kings just didn't have enough anti-air to deal with this. This is pretty much how the Sisters always do. They use all their ammo and usually just pay for themselves. Yeah, up to 2,300, and it looks like Cetra's going to be dying in the bushes. He's in danger. He is in the danger zone. So here it comes. One more shot. Will Cetra be put in the trash can? Probably so. 500 HP. Oh, that one actually hits a tree. You know, if Cetra had maybe taken up refuge and hidden in the trees earlier, it could have been a bit of a different game. Anyways, I think Wood Elves got this one in the bag. You know, the Ushapti Greatbows, the Archers, Cetra, like all of them have been killed by the Air Force and some of the other missiles and things like that. So I think that is going to be it. I don't see much that Ice Power can do here in this situation. I don't think he was equipped to deal with this build. He went with like... Ice Power brought a build that's very good against like missile play. So if like you have Glade Guard spam or like Deepwood Scouts or Way Watchers, he pretty much instantly wins that game on the battlefield. But against that Air Force that Zyphos brought, he was not prepared for that. Now, if he had maybe like one more Skeleton Archer, like double Ushapti Greatbow, I think he would have won this game easily. Because the thing is, in like a box like this, if you just have like 3 Ushopti Great Bows pounding the Treekin and just like the archers shooting up the birds in the sky, the Hawk Riders, like you just win. The Tomb King just straight up wins. So this was a bit of a build roulette game. The one build was brought and just didn't quite work out against what his opponent brought, but a valiant effort nonetheless. But here we have the Dryads. Ushopti Summon is here. I like the persistence here from your boy. Mice Power Total War, still pushing in. He's got a couple Nehekar Horsemen waiting in the wings. I mean, is he going to be able to break down? No, I don't think so. Like, the Treekin are just too meaty. There's 12 Treekin here. Look, like, this whole time we've been talking here, the Firebark Elders have taken, like, what, like 15% damage? Like, barely anything. Barely anything at all. Xiphos has done a really good job holding here for sure. So the Horsemen continue to scream in. Army losses should be kicking in soon. Sisters of Twilight have accrued amazing value this game, probably close to 3,000 at this point. Let's go and check. 2,800. Should be able to encroach 3,000 before the game ends. And now there's going to be a Mel cost being dropped on the Horsemen, which will slow them and do some decent damage. And most of the Bone Daddy army is crumbling down. Got a couple Skeleton Spears still moving in. Spear still in the front, grinding quite happily. The Horsemen are pretty much the last fighting unit this army has. Of course, the Ushopti Summon is pretty decent. You know, it's able to grind down some Dryads. But for the most part, that's not going to be here for too long. Human Boy, how you doing, man? The password is simply 123. Anybody is welcome to join. Yeah, Sisters do have a heal that actually works now, which is good. Before, the Sisters did not. Their heal was like bugged and didn't work, but it's actually quite good. What I really like about Sisters, too, is you can bring like a Lord choice that isn't a healing caster if you want to. And although typically Branch Wraiths are the way to go, right? Like Branch Wraiths are just so great. They have Earthblood, which in a pinch you might need it on top of that. And also they have Pendulums, which is great against like Tomb King's formations and all that sort of good stuff. But GG. Well played. There goes Ye Old Horseman getting surrounded by the Bird Riders, and army losses is kicked in. Xiphos winning with a very defensive Hawk Rider build. And we will be moving on to the next match of the day. You think Xiphos is going to play 9 games in a row? I know. Xiphos saw that I named this the Mountain King of the Hill, and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to come in and play Elves for like 2 hours. Sister's hard carried. Sister's hard carried for sure. The tree's held. That was that. Xiphos says, GG, air French cheese done. Oh, that's funny. Air French cheese. All right. So Icefire is still the king of the hill with 2 wins, but now we have Xiphos getting on here trying to climb. We'll see what the French champion can do. Delivering the French Air Force cheese, as he said. Not my words, his words. The dreaded Mass Eagles. Yes, of course, one of the founders of the dreaded Eagle build, Professor Pone, is here. Yeah. Yes. Fun stuff. All right. Noah, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. Greatly appreciate the support, my friend, and hopefully you're enjoying the videos. I'm going to be working on a bunch of guides for Ye Old Age of Empires. So when that comes out, I'll have a guide on most of the factions. Not most, but at least 3 or 4 of them. And basics guide and all that sort of good stuff. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm very, very excited. And I will do the same thing when Warhammer 3 comes out. So when we get Warhammer 3, I'll do guides to the new factions based on their playstyles and tips and what I think is going to be effective and all that sort of good stuff. The tree that protected Cetra was a traitor. Oh, I love that. It's a great comment. Yeah. Pretty fun. All right, they're just chatting. Tomb Kings, they did get the business, yes. They got the Flying Air Force. All right, anyone's welcome to join. So join up, my friends. Come join the party. We will do the Blood Pine Woods for the next map. Where, oh, where are you? Blood Pine Woods. Hey, we got Human Boy. Check it out. He's a great tournament host, a great player, champion of RTK. And let's see what he can do. Map set, good luck, have fun. Let's see what the players do. The dreaded 0 Dukes of Haggard. No, we got... Oh, Dukes O Haggard, you're saying. Okay, fair play. So we got Skaven. Hopefully he lets Human Boy play Skaven. Human Boy is a true champion of the rat people. Human Boy, yes, great name. We actually had a podcast. Hang on a sec. Let me get that for you guys. Hopefully YouTube. The problem I have with going to YouTube while I'm streaming is like if I click on somebody's channel, oftentimes it'll play an ad right away, and then like I get trolled because of that. Let me get this. Okay. Where is it? So Human Boy has a YouTube channel. He's pretty damn active. He does like Iron Man streams and all sorts of cool shit. Let's go here and then find this. It's a couple weeks ago. His videos. God, I'm such a boomer with technology. All right, here we go. So here's a podcast I did. Check it out. This was with the gentleman who you're seeing playing right now, Human Boy. Head on over there. Give him some love. We did a podcast, which was, I was there for about an hour. But we talk about the Empire. So basically, if you guys are curious about the Empire, he does a series where he has like people come on and talk about like their main factions and things like that. So him and I did a podcast talking about the Empire, which was quite a bit of fun. So if you want to see that, like I basically go over the matchups, answer questions about them, and because they are my main faction, so you can check that out. All right, and there's one more time. Check it out, my friends. He's a great guy. All right, so so he banned Skaven. Oh, why are you doing this? He goes, Wood Elves, High Elves, and Dark Elves. Like, they're all okay against Skaven. Why are you banning Skaven, bro? Like, Wood Elves own Skaven. High Elves do fine. Dark Elves, not so much, probably. But, like, oh, Xiphos is ruthless, dude. He's trying to be the heel today. The WWE heel, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Vindicare, I understand where you're coming from. Like, I'm a classic RTS player myself, and the build roulette aspect of things can be a little bit obnoxious in this game from time to time. Like in most RTS games, you can like scout things and gather information and adjust your build accordingly, but this is a little bit different for sure. Dude, I know. I don't want to lose to your Skaven again, says Xiphos. That's a grudge, and oh my god, Xiphos is just going full heel today. Yeah. So you'll play Empire, then play Skaven. Yeah, Empire's my favorite faction. I also play Skaven. Skaven is one of my factions, but the one that I'm best with, like that I can compete with good people, is Empire usually. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of practice right now, though. I've been in and out of town and had a lot of personal stuff going on, so yeah. Yeah, it's been some wild times. Preach, Darren, yeah. We're getting there. Okay, so we have Empire versus High Elves. Okay, I'm actually down for this matchup. This is fun. We get the Sons of Sigmar versus the Empire. Wait, no, versus, well, the Elvish Empire. Yes, it's going to be the High Elves, and it's going to be on the Bloodpine Woods, kind of a small map. I've always felt that this matchup is incredibly even, just like very like right down the center even, so we'll see what happens. Yes. Popo Joe says, Legend of Total War said you'd be a fierce rival in head-to-head. Yeah, you know, so the thing about if I were to play head-to-head with Legend, his knowledge of campaign and like build orders and like where to go like early and where to expand is just exponentially better than myself. But the one place I would have an advantage is in battles. So, for example, if he were to fight a very hard battle early on, which normally you're used to just abusing the AI, and I were able to get an early win in one of those, I would have a chance. But if it went to like late game campaign and macro, like even winning battles here and there, he would have a massive advantage. So it would just come down to that, because I don't play campaign. I play campaign like once every 2 or 3 months. So when a new one comes out, basically. What amount of extra gold reinforcements do you think is necessary to make Warhammer 3 not build roulette? You know, if you had like a build, like if each player brought 9,000 gold onto the battlefield, for example, and then there was like 3,400 for reinforcements, I think that could be okay. Like I'd have to play test it though. I'm just shooting from the hip right now. But yeah, something like that. Turns a beast in the night, lurker in the dark. Yeah. Yeah, we try, man. We try. So, this is a fun matchup. I agree. I think Empire versus High Elves is really fun. It's one of my favorites. I think it's a very even matchup, too. It's a matchup that lets the High Elves shine as well. Hopefully, they're aware of the map. It's a relatively small map. There is some woodland terrain on the flanks and things like that, but overall, you know, you got to watch out. I would lose any head-to-head campaign as soon as the Dawi declared war on me. Yeah, I'd be like doing great. I'd be like winning the campaign, and then suddenly like a strength rank 1 dwarf faction would declare war on me, even if I was Empire. Yeah, I know. Yeah, head-to-head campaigns are fun. It's really hard to find balance though, because some like factions in head-to-head are just so freakishly more powerful. It's like if you play any Beastman faction or like Rom the Paunch, you could just like basically shit on anyone, like whatever they're playing. That's the thing too, right? Like finding balanced head-to-heads is hard. There are some that are okay. Like I feel like Vampire Counts versus Empire is a good one. Yeah, there's a fair amount of head-to-heads that are somewhat even. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, Chaos Dwarves are going to be a DLC. They 100% RCB. Yeah. Like, absolutely. So you're going to, either have to pay the $9 or $10 it costs for them, or or you're not going to get them. Most likely, Yeah, most likely. All right, so taking a look here at the Elvish army for Xiphos, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Shadow Warriors. Yeah, this is like classic play here. Yeah, Xiphos style. It's going to be a bunch of Shadow Warriors basically trying to take out the ranged assets, focusing down the Empire Archers and Huntsmen and Pistoliers, Outriders, things like that. And the Dragon Princes are going to cycle Charge and Hammer. We have a Lore Master of Hoth and a Lithanar. Interesting choice. My only concern for Xiphos' build is I feel like he's very, very ill-equipped to deal with Volkmar. Like, nothing in his army is great against Volkmar the Grim. Like, nothing. Like, the Fireborn, like, no, not really. Like, neither is Shadow Warriors, neither is a Lithanar. So I'm a little bit concerned that your boy, Xiphos, is going to get run over by the mustache. But we'll see. Now, we got Pistoliers, we got some Swordsmen, some State Troopers, double Huntsmen. Huntsmen are pretty good against Elves in general. Better against Wood Elves, but not terrible against the Elves of the highest type. He's got Spears in the back, a single Hellblaster volley gun, which is pretty wild. Lithanar probably going to try and snipe that with Moonbow, and some Empire Knights to serve as roadblocks. Empire Knights will get massacred pretty bad by, obviously, Dragon Princes, but if you just buffer them with Spears and kind of sit defensively, you can do your thing. But my concern for the Empire army is the Hellblaster volley gun being such a centerpiece. It's like so easy to snipe for a Lithanar and characters like that. So Human Boy says, uh-oh, that troop count. The troop count is 482 to 1100. A little bit different. Normal Elven play or High Elf play into Empire is usually like Bolt Thrower centric because Bolt Throwers are so good against Empire artillery, decent against Empire cavalry. They really, really do some heavy lifting for sure. So Shadow Warriors immediately going balls deep into the Pistoliers. We'll see how quickly Human Boy reacts. It looks like he did take a little bit of a volley in the face, but he does discover a Lithanar and drops a nice volley there, so that's a pretty good little trade. Hellblaster volley gun should start shooting here in a second. Basically what Human Boy needs to do is just like dodge and move with his Pistoliers. Yeah, taking some pretty big damage though for sure. And the Moonbow does go down, and Overcasted Spirit Leech from Xiphos, which is designed to counter Empire artillery. The Hellblaster volley gun already wavering, man. A Lithanar's Moonbow just like full on ion cannon that thing and did some really, really good work. So Pistolier still juking, keeping vision. It looks like the clone has begun. The Clone Wars have, yes, as the clone has been summoned. Which one is the real Slim Shady? Oh yeah, that's right. They took away the tooltip that makes it easy to tell, but yeah, I mean, obviously we'll see in a second when they shoot. Volkmar moving up. What I would do if I were Human Boy is I would just straight up grab Volkmar. I would just mouth breathe and click on a Lithanar for 10 minutes. And that is probably your best recipe for success. Nothing here can kill the mustachioed man other than like just pure attrition or army losses, which if it's like an evenish game isn't going to work. But again, if Xiphos can secure enough of an advantage with his poking and all that good stuff, then he could defeat Volkmar just through sheer like force of will, right? Just weight of fire and all those different things. But Volkmar juking, Human Boy going back and forth. This is my big problem with bringing like Hellblasters and things like that against Elves in general. Is Bolt Throwers counter them. Like, there's just so many answers that the Elves have. Overcasted Spirit Leech. And it's just rough, man. It's just rough. But like, look at this. This is like really, really bad for the Elves. Like, Volkmar just cackling and juking back and forth, like wasting all this ammo and just basically occupying the entire missile force. But the Dragon Princes are going to be a big player as well. So, charging into the Spearmen. The Spearmen don't take that much damage, but might be able to poke back a little bit, but for the most part, Dragon Princes have a shit ton of armor and will be able to really, really melt these Spearmen. Lance is couched here as the Silver Helms move in, and they are going to get right into the back of Hans and the boys, and those State Troopers are going to be sandwiched. So good night, sweet Princess. And over here in the bushes, we do have the Shield of Faith active, while the Huntsmen rip a couple shots. You're going to have to get those Huntsmen on those units. And is the Hellblaster Volley Crew coming back? It is, actually, so that can be quite strong. At the very least, it will summon another Overcasted Spirit Leech from Xiphos, and that'll probably be the extent of it, I would imagine. So the Shadow Warriors still pulling back, shooting into the Sigmar Sons, who are more than happy to eat those shots in the face. Well played by Human Boy in picking all these Spearmen with shields, and it looks like there's going to be a net going down. Oh, Burning Head net combo. That's pretty sweet. How quick will he be on the Burning Head? Oh, he should have gone this way. That was a little bit of a mistake. Burning Head will do okay. It's cute, but it's not that strong, actually. That was not worth the one's magic he used. He should have done the Burning Head down the pipe this way, and he would have gotten much more value. But again, in a panic, you're microing all over the battlefield. It's really, really hard to get everything perfect, so that was a nice idea, for sure. Now, here on the wings, we get Huntsmen shooting at the shielded Silverhelms, and the Silverhelms here dominating the Empire Knights. Spearmen moving up to support the Huntsmen, while Xiphos tries to weave through the seam with his cavalry. So he's trying to get his princes and get onto the Huntsmen, which are pretty much one of the main threats to him. And the Hellblaster volley gun crew is back online. That could actually be a big playmaker. That Hellblaster volley gun could wreck those princes if Xiphos doesn't notice this. Lore Master of Hoth is a good target. It's an infantry unit, and, you know, obviously Volkmar will be quite good against it. I think that the Sigmar Sons maybe want to turn their backs and keep charging here. Looks like a big banishment going. Yes, is able to hit the Shadow Warriors there and tearing through those units. That actually was a pretty good banishment, yeah. Continuing to rotate through and just really wreck this one unit. Volkmar should be able to kill this Lore Master of Hoth. It depends. A little bit of, you know, obviously RNG in there. The ammunition is running quite low for the elves. If they run out of ammo before they kill Volkmar, they better pray, baby. Things are going to get spicy. Hellblaster volley gun is online, and now it's ripping shots at the Dragon Princes, and we're going to get some straight-up Last Samurai shit, as these princes are going to have to move in and try and shut down this Hellblaster volley gun. So Xiphos, of course, being a Wood Elf himself in real life, is instantly going to be moving all his cavalry into his natural habitat, which is the trees, and will be running down that Hellblaster. But this is good time for the Hellblaster. Yeah, it's really, really taking down quite a few models. Now, will the mustache carry the day? I mean, it's certainly possible. The Lore Master of Hoth is dead. It looks like he got run over by Volkmar's horses, Volkmar the Grim and Deathhoof. And now Volkmar is going to just be moving in. And honestly, I think he might carry this game. Like, yeah, like the elves can grind through this shit, but like, man, Volkmar is just such a raid boss, guys. Such a raid boss. And he's getting low, but like he still has a lot of room for his healing cap. So, I don't know. I think like you just got to put everything into him now and just hope. Xiphos just has to hope he can kill him. He's getting him pretty low. There is no healing, so Volkmar's got to juke. He's got to run back to his army and then basically just push all these units with the state troopers and allow Volkmar to get to his healing gap, which you know, might be able to happen. A couple Empire Knights moving in, going after the Shadow Warriors, these brave riders of Sigmar. The Grand Shield of Faith is active, and here comes the Shadow Warriors. Boom goes the ride, as they do get rode down there by the Empire Knights. Volkmar able to get away, but only 800 HP. Elithnar might be able to do the job. He's got some shots. He's got 9 shots left. Man, this is a close game. This is a close game. The rest of the Empire army is very healthy, too. That's a lot of shit. The Dragon Prince is here, the Fireborn, a little bit beat up, actually, taking some shots from the Pistoliers, and I don't think there's any Outriders there. Volkmar's mustache holding on. And he is rotating around. All that ammo being used on those Empire Knights back there is, like, saving Volkmar, right? Oh, but the cavalry, this is good. They could do it. On the charge. Oh, he's not going for it. He's not. Oh, man, he could have killed Volkmar there, I think. Now Volkmar might have a chance to get back to his halberds, which is very problematic. Yeah, looks like he's going to juke in. Oh, it's so close. 300 HP. The mustache moves. Elithnar might be able to get him. He's got 7 shots left. He's 6 HP. 6 HP right now. Oh, my God, on Volkmar. This is so close. The mustache is trying to heal. Okay, you got to juke this. Human boy's got to juke this back. Oh, and he dodges the shot. Straight up Matrix shit right there. Now he's going to be moving back and across, running through his units. The entire time, the Elven force is chasing Volkmar too. They're, you know, taking losses from other aspects of the battle. 170 HP. Grand Hammer of Sigmar is active, and Volkmar does fall to the Fireborn before he gets a banishment. But I mean, this is still a close match. This is still a close match. Halberds are still quite prevalent. Ammunition is out, and honestly, guys, I think Human Boy still wins this. Like, it's going to be tight. Shadow Warriors are pretty decent in melee. That's the cool thing about them. They have good combat stats. Just like they are in tabletop. And tabletop Shadow Warriors are pretty decent in combat too, which is what I really like about them. Oh my God, Thickmar the Grim, yes. Doing his thing. Halberds getting ready. Oh God, the burning head, that's so erect. Man, right down the pipe. Those Shadow Warriors just get shreked. And I think that, oh, actually, he still got Dragon Princes in the back. Okay. I didn't see that unit. This is going to be a tight one, dude. This is such a close game. I don't know. Xiphos might win it with the Dragon Princes, actually. I didn't see that other unit of Princes, so I assumed it was just Fireborn. But with 2 units of Dragon Princes, cycle charging State Troopers, who only have 30 armor, I think he wins it. I think Xiphos just barely wins this. Yeah, my initial call, sorry, I had the hiccups there for a second. My initial call a minute ago was very, very wrong. Did not see that other unit. Halberds are doing quite well. Spearmen trying to hold back those Princes. Are they going to brace? Human Boy about to be rode down here as the Fireborn just get a massive charge. Obviously, Cavalry are quite a bit better on this beta. 1100 value. Yep, pretty darn solid. And now the State Troopers are going to be surrounded. Halberds, of course, do not have crazy good leadership. -16, -7. That's probably game blouses. The Firecaster might be able to get like 1 really nice burning head, but we also do get the Pistoliers charging in as well to try and help. Not going to be able to stand up. They needed the Halberds to hold. The Halberds are like the one thing that could maybe get the Empire in this game. More State Troopers on their way back in. We do have the Bright Wizard as well. He's okay in leadership, rocking about 17 to 23. The dreaded Volkmar escape. Yeah, going to be a burning head here, but Dragon Princes have fire resist, so it's not going to do anything. I think it's like 70% fire resist. Yeah, these guys are like, their armor was like, you know, blessed to be good against these guys. Let's see. Yeah, Shadow Warriors, of course, do get the Kindle Flame on them. And more spears piling in. Man, I don't see any way, because Lithanar can definitely defeat a Bright Wizard in combat. So if he's able to pop this guy in the face a couple times, should be it. No Volkmar, no Sigmar Sons, no Hans here to karate kick the High Elves into oblivion. Just more and more cavalry play, which is cool. I'm very happy to see heavy cavalry doing well. Spearmen holding, army losses kicking in. Very close match. Very evenly matched those two players are. And congratulations, Xiphos will win. He will claim victory indeed. The password is 123. Greg, anyone's welcome to join. That was an awesome match, dude. Hellblaster Volley Gun was a bit of a limp noodle there. A limp sausage. But aside from that, the Empire build was cool. I just think you cut the Hellblaster and like you're living your best life. Dragon Princess 1200, 1000 here. 1900 on your boy Shadow King there. Not bad at all, man. Mustache Man almost carried. He almost did. GG, well played. All right, so Xiphos is up to 2 wins here. And let us see who he will face next. For the next circus trick today, we will be on the Southern Chaos Wastes, which I think is down here somewhere. I'm going to have some water real quick. GG indeed. People in chat saying High Elves are OP. Well, I certainly wouldn't say that, but... some good water right there, man. I was thirsty. He banned his Skaven. All right, we got Rusty in here. Rusty is a Chaos player. Up-and-coming Chaos champion of the Ama clan. Ooh, very cool. So, map set. We'll see what they decide to pick here. Yeah, dragons are really cool, but they're not very good against Empire. Empire has like typically has silver bullets and huntsmen and things like that in that matchup, or you know, handgunners at the very least. So your dragon's gonna pay the troll toll. Perhaps another elf game. We will see. We will see indeed. We'll see if Xiphos wants to go with elves. He can play other factions for sure. He will indeed. Rusty's getting all excited here in chat for his big battle. How we doing this? Picks and bans. All right, so Xiphos picks 3 and bans 1. Then you ban 1 and pick. Cool. You guys want a High Elf mirror? Oh, don't do that to me, dude. All right, so we got Chaos versus Wood Elves, Bretonnia, or Dark Elves. So then, Rusty, you also get to ban 1, dude. So you ban 1 of Xiphos' 3, and then from there, he picks from his remaining 2. So you just ban the one you don't want to play, so you ban Wood Elves. And now it's going to be either Bretonnia or Dark Elves, both of which I think are fine. Dark Elves are more favored versus Chaos, I would say, than Bretonnia, but Bretonnia can do just fine there, too. He's going to go Druki. I'm really curious to see how Rusty handles this, because this has been a matchup for a long time that has been favored for the old Elves of the Darkness. Pone says we need a Haggard Grimgore game. Well, Grimgore could make it a celebrity appearance at some point. I hope so. At the very least, when we close out the stream with a couple FFAs, that would be the time Grimgore would emerge from the shadows and, you know, cackle at the old world. Cackles and Grimgore. Yeah. So opening up some windows, my friends. It's a little bit. It's weird. The house we live in is kind of an old wooden house, and it retains like whatever temperature it starts the day with. So like if it's cold in the morning, it just stays cold all day, and vice versa with heat. All right. So it's going to be Elves versus Chaos. Rusty probably going to have like 500 Marauder Horsemen with like a Hell Cannon maybe. Hell Cannon is actually pretty decent against Druki. Yeah. It has like a weird heat-seeking component where you can like shoot Marathi. You can like, yeah, you can get some cool work. You know, maybe we'll see the dreaded double Hell Cannon from Rusty, because the Dark Elves do have bolt throwers, but they do not have the like Arrow of Kurnus type abilities to really just snipe artillery. So Hell Cannons with some, you know, clever placement can do well. They can indeed. Should have brought a tank. Yeah, you know, steam tanks against Wood Elves are interesting. Yeah, they can. If you have a steam tank in Volkmar, sometimes like the elves won't have enough ammo to kill both of them. Yeah, I've had success with that, and I've seen games where it does well. All right, looks like these two champions are ready. Let's go ahead and load in. It's going to be Xiphos of ODM versus Rusty of Ama. Yeah, Sipe, yeah, for sure. For sure, my friend. Greg, if you join our Discord, which if we have a mod that could drop a link to Discord right now, there's a section called Tournament Rules, and you can read them there. Yeah. Have you seen some? I've seen some weird shots from Hell Cannons where they do like they go like straight up or straight down at the last second. It's very weird. Yeah, Hell Cannons are a funky unit. All right. For some reason, I was like, do I have a screen blocker up? All the trauma from before. Hell Cannons have MILF-seeking missiles as bone. Oh, that's a good one, man. All right. So looking at the Chaos Army, it's going to be Big Bird, which is my preferred choice. I think that's a very good choice by Rusty. He's hard to snipe, and Final Transmutations can win you the games against the blobs of the Dark Elves. We got double Manticore as well from the Warriors of Chaos. The front line is going to be a combination of Warriors and Marauders. Pretty standard stuff. One Forsaken unit, I think on the far side. No, actually Mirror Guard. And then a bunch of Marauder Horsemen and Hounds. Very, very standard for sure. Hell Cannon taking the low ground position. It is going to be the Soul of Damnation, which I really agree with. Ooh. Yeah, that's going to be good. Against this build, man, Zyphos went with a Halberd build, so he didn't go like full Scourge Runner, like full Repeater Crossbow like you often see. So that Hell Cannon actually is going to have the opportunity to really pound into the Blades of the Blood Queen and some of these other units. It's just going to be more an issue of dealing with that Bolt Thrower. The Bolt Thrower can snipe it if you're not careful, but it will need to come closer. So looking here at Zyphos' build, pretty interesting. Yeah, he's got double Halberd as well as Blades of the Blood Queen. We got some Cavalry, which are going to be Cold One Knights. Repeater Crossbows on the Cavalry, the Dark Riders, and Reaper Bolt Thrower. Yeah, cool build. Cool build indeed. Yes, yes. Trogdor, I'm sorry I'm streaming when you're at work, I know. My streams are so random, I just like, whenever I feel like it, I just fire it up. Marathi, perhaps going to be taking some giant phallic Chaos Blast to the face. We can see here with the giant... I mean, come on. Whoever designed that had to know what they were doing. Like, literally, look at this thing. It's literally just a giant shaft with a sack here on the bottom. Like, look at this shit, dude. Certainly might want to get that thing checked out, but, you know. Perhaps the Soul of Damnation has been spending too much time on Tinder here in Los Angeles. Yeah. It's got some problems. It's got some problems, man. All right. Let us see what the Soul of Damnation can do. Better move that bird out of the way. The Sartorial, the big chicken, might take some shots to the face. We will see. In the back, we do have some hounds, the Chaos Warhounds and a Deep Vanguard. And the first Hell Cannon shots are going to be going after Marathi. Maybe no. Going after what appears to be Dark Riders. And it does take out a Dark Rider there. The ECL is going to be taking place at 10 a.m. on Saturday, Pacific Standard Time. So California time, 10 a.m. So you guys can do your respective time adjustments. Yeah, Slaanesh wanted it like this. That makes sense. Absolutely. Definitely some Slaaneshi influence going down there. So now we have some trading with the Marauder Horsemen, throwing some spears into the Repeater Crossbows. And there is going to be what appears to be a Wand of Crydon. So Rusty's Hell Cannon is getting focused pretty hard. What you can do to avoid this is you can drop the Chaos Dwarf crew and have them run away. So the Hell Cannon itself doesn't actually take the damage. But we'll see if the Soul of Damnation is able to do its thing. I think Rusty might need to get a little bit more aggressive. Like send Warp Chicken up here and drop like a big Final Transmutation on top of the Reaper Bolt Thrower. You know, like try and shut that down because that might be worth it. Because then if the Hell Cannon is functional over the course of the game, like you're just getting such an advantage, right? Like even getting these Horsemen in to try and pick it off could be good because losing this big expensive Hell Cannon is going to suck. Although it is shooting pretty well. Here comes another shot. Yeah, but he's not quite getting those juicy targets in the back like the Blades of the Blood Queen. So right there, it looks like there is a big Soul Stealer going down, and it does hit a couple units. Hits that one, that one, that one. Another Hell Cannon shot, continuing to trade. Actually trying to trade artillery pieces. Very interesting. But that, yeah, the Hell Cannon's gone now. So that's a pretty big advantage for the Druki, and now Chaos is basically just, you know, going to have to advance here. They're going to have to party and move in. But the Bolt Thrower might die also. Here we got some Hounds kind of weaving through the seam here. Might be able to get the Bolt Thrower here. Let's see where the Hounds go. It looks like they're pathing here, but this is the right place from Rusty. Definitely go after the Bolt Thrower. You're probably going to lose these Hounds, but if you can at least get it, then I think it might be worth it. Oh, look at the bait! That was a great bait, and does he get the AoE punishment? He does, but the cast is a little bit slow. That was a nice Final Transmutation bait. It gets all three of those Horsemen. Granted, Zyphos does fan them out, but a couple of them really just get pounded. That was good. That was a nice Final Transmutation right there. Yeah, good value there. Solid stuff. It will be a little bit tough to deal with Zyphos' elite troops in the back. The, you know, the Blades of the Blood Queen and the Black Guard and all those different units. Will be tough to grind down. Granted, the Marauder infantry with great weapons will be pretty damn cost effective against the Halberds. Now the Manscores of Chaos. Chaos Final Manscores looking to do battle with Marathi up in the sky, perhaps, which is there a Plague of Rust coming down? Oh, okay, Marathi's armor is 10. And the two Manscores taking her to Poundland for sure. Moving in after Marathi. Just the old chase. Now the chicken's moving into the main fight to help with the Blades of the Blood Queen. So typically, if you overcast Final Transmutations, you can get like 2 of them over the course of a longer game. If you just like basic cast, you can usually get like 3, but the overcast is typically worth it. It's pretty good. Horsemen moving in on the flank. A little bit of an awkward blob here for sure. I think the Horsemen need to kind of Tokyo drift around the back and start focusing down the Halberds and the Cold Moon Knights and all those units, and maybe even chasing down the Repeater Crossbows at this point would be good. Like, if you assign 1 Horseman to Dark Riders, you win those fights. And the reason why is because the Repeater Crossbows can't shoot while they run, and Horsemen are also better in combat, so that is that. Sartorial, the Ever-Chicken, battling Marathi. He's not the best combat lord, this big chicken of Tzeentch, especially with Marathi's debuffs, but he's not doing a terrible job. 1 Manscore is getting Rampage, but Chaos definitely needs to get a little bit more aggressive with their Marauder Horsemen. In the backfield, they do have some Marauder Infantry looking to push in. And the Marauder Horsemen have now been kind of forced back, while the Manticores are being just methodically focused down by the Dark Riders, which is extremely cost-effective. Granted, this Manticore is unintentionally juking, which is quite funny, while it chases Marathi. But now it's trapped in Coldwind Knights. Marathi turns around to fight it, and the Coldwind Knights should be able to, probably deal with this Fell Beast. As you can see, they got their spears. The Velociraptors are jumping in. And, yeah, it's broken, man. Both Manticores are off the battlefield. A little bit of a bounce power advantage for the forces of the Druchii. Marauder Horsemen have an okay concave right now. They can kind of just sit and shoot and wear down those Knights. But the Druchii Elite Infantry are probably going to, carry the late game. I wouldn't say carry the early game, but they're going to do a good job there. It's going to be a Soul Stealer on the Big Bird. It is. Marathi's really going in on it. She wants some KFC for dinner, and she is not going to be denied as she hunts down that big chicken. 2205 on the HP, 2095. The HP is dropping a little bit lower. Marathi taking a couple shafts to the face from these burly Marauder Horsemen, and they also charge in to fight her in combat. 1920 on her HP. Might be able to get a little bit of damage as she does try and retreat. Her HP is now 1823. Cycling through many, many years here. 1 Manscore in the distance has come back. Blades of the Blood Queen able to effectively get through those infantry, but not for free. They certainly took some damage from the Marauder Horsemen. Overall value accrued about 1,000, and certainly a little bit more to give. The only hope that I can see for Chaos is that big chicken just drops the base on this guy. Like, if Marathi fights near some elite troops and a big Final Transmutation comes in, I think that's the only hope that Chaos has to maybe get back in this game. Chicken is quite low as well. He's at 2,000 HP, not in the best shape. A couple of Cold Blue Knights bouncing out after the Marauder Horsemen. Repeater Crossbows this game have been pretty great. They single-handedly dealt with the Manticores, which if they could have been dealt with earlier, maybe the Manticores could have helped Chaos win this game. But it looks like Xiphos is probably going to be winning this one, most likely. I don't see too much hope for Rusty now, as Marathi's going to get this Manticore. Repeater Crossbows are still in line. There's 2 units of Blackguard, which are formidable. Yeah, 75 models here and 67 right here. I'm surprised it wasn't 69, considering it's my stream. But they are going firm. Well played, Rusty. It was a good match. The thing is, it's a favored match for Druchii. It's a hard one. I know he's a Chaos main, but it's very, very tough, especially against a good player like Xiphos. So, GG, well played. The chicken getting about 1,600 value. Hell Cannon being shut down was also tough, but very, very well played. It was a great scrap, and Xiphos will continue on as King of the Hill today. Hope to see you back, Rusty. Great match, man. So, moving in to the next area. Well played, saying both players. Indeed, it was a great match. It was a really, really good match. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Sword of Torgold. It's just time. Let the hate flow through you. You might have trouble finding the lobby because sometimes if you're not on someone's friends list, you can't see their lobbies, which is just such shit. God, I hope CA fixes that, man. It's like there's so many just haggard features that just make multiplayer just even more difficult than it already is to get into, Like, come on, fix the lobby system. Shit. Like, Age of Empires can do it. I can join anyone's game there. So you guys got to be able to also. Okay. Who will be next to challenge the Elvish champion? Who will battle him here in the pits of the Mountain King of the Hill? What's that, guys? Just had a call. Just got to make sure it's not something urgent. Un momento. What time is it now? Okay. Cool. So in this battle, it's going to be... Looks like you wanted to play Vampire Counts. Is this somebody under an alias here? Let's go ahead and see who it is. It's got a horse head as his picture. I don't think so. This might be a youngling, or it could be a champ. A mighty tyrant in disguise. We'll find out here. Map set. Good luck, have fun. Zyphos picks 3. Does indeed. Please fix at least one of the 300 bugs before Warhammer 3. Yeah, there's quite a few. I think we have a youngling in here. I'm not sure. Oh, he is a youngling. Okay. Very good. Younglings having to play an elf main is pretty brutal for sure. Because elves like have a way of sucking the fun out of the game sometimes, unless you're like an experienced player. But if you're new, oh damn. Good luck, dude. No biggie. It's your first multiplayer game, and you know you only have to battle like an ECL champion right now. No problem. All right, dude. I believe in you, Flaming. You know, if I could give you any tips right now, it's just keep the build simple. Don't try and get too fancy. You know, and just give it your all, dude. Take away from it what you will. Ban Zyphos' Wood Elves if you want to have more of a pleasant experience. Make him play like High Elves or Dark Elves. Yeah, those are my tips for you. We love the younglings. Yeah, you know, you need a youngling every now and then for sure. All right, Zyphos, current king of the hill. He says Bretonnia. Oh, look at that. Zyphos going off elves. He's going off faction. He goes Bretonnia, Empire, and Dwarves, and he bans no bans. Now the youngling will get to pick here. I believe in him, dude. Deacon says I can't watch this. Yeah. Yeah, Rusty, what you probably should have done is when the bolt thrower crew started targeting your hell cannon, you should have like pulled the hell cannon crew off and ran them away. So then the bolt throwers will shoot at the Chaos Dwarf troops instead of the cannon. And then you can use your horsemen to move up and harass the piece, and also move Big Bird up. You needed to move Big Bird up earlier and final transmutation on the artillery piece, because then if your hell cannon was free to work, you probably could have won that game. Your hell cannon could have just like nuked like, you know, all the elite infantry and the skirmishers, and like you could have played a little bit more defensively. Yeah. Yes, Lord Pirogius. Yeah. Okay, that's a good ban. Flaming does ban the, he bans the Wood Elves, which is... Oh, you know, you don't need to ban Wood Elves. So, Flaming, you can ban one of his 3 he picks. So, Emp, Dwarf, Bretonnia. Then you pick yours, and Zyph picks from his remaining 2. A Dawi mirror match? Don't do that shit. Come on. Don't put that evil on me, LR. It's like the scene in Talladega Nights, remember? Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. It's got 2 first names. Yeah. 4 Reaper bolt throwers, it certainly can be okay. It's not very strong, though, but it can be depending on what your build is, yeah. So, yeah, you get to ban a little bit differently. So he bans Bretonnia. Okay. Perfect. Now you pick a faction to face either Empire or Dwarves. So Zyphos picking a little bit ahead of himself here. It's fine, though. So we'll see what he picks. Yeah, they screwed up the picking a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Not a problem. I know I said Mountain King, but Zyphos happened to show up and... Oh, look, he's playing Dwarves. Yeah, this should be fun. Against Dwarves, I'd go Skaven. Oh, he wants to go try something with Empire against Dwarves. This guy's he's got some big balls here. Yes. He's going with Empire against Dwarves. Holy shit. It's his first game in multiplayer, and he takes like the hardest counter against himself. Just walks right into it. You got Skaven open, you got High Elves open. This guy's a true man of Sigmar. We got to give him... He probably has a huge mustache in real life. Just a thick one, you know? Big, thick mustache. Getting in there. See how this goes? I mean, you know what? There are some builds you can win with, dude. There are some builds, like Mass Hellstorm, you know? Just go crazy. Yeah. It's going to be Empire vs. Dwarves on the Sword of Torgold. Hey, I'm excited for this. Sigmar, bless him. You know, there's 2 ways to play this matchup, in my opinion. It's like 4 Hellstorm Rocket Battery cheese. Or you go like great sword halberd spam with like a cheap lord and just like swarm them. Anticity saying, fun fact, Xiphos really loves infantry heavy factions, dwarves included. Is mustache an innuendo? No, not really. It's actually just like a reference to the fact that like everyone in the Empire has a mustache except Karl Franz. Yeah. All right, looks like he's ready. He says, I have smelly Australian internet, so it may not be the best. No problem, dude. Just happy to have you here. Let's have some fun. I'm sorry your first game has to be against such a tyrant like Xiphos, but it is the nature of the beast. Yeah. I wish I could grow a good mustache. Yeah, I can't, unfortunately. My mustaches suck. I mean, they're not as bad as some people's, I guess. Yeah, I can get like the 80s, like kind of dirty, you know, adult film stash. Yeah, I can get one of those. My beards are pretty shit, though. My mustaches are better than my beards, for sure. No, I don't think this match will be too short. It's usually a long one because dwarves don't like run people over. It's more of like a grind, so it's unless he just like, you know, moves his lord into a dwarven firing box. Pain is always justified in the service of Sigmar. There you go. See, he knows how to live. Yes. Volkmar, War Wagons, Luminarch, Steam Tanks. Yeah, there's so many memes you can do with Empire. That's another thing about Empire. There's a lot of memey builds you can do. And some of them actually work. Yeah. This big throbbing mustache, Jesus. Yeah, the veiny mustache. just a thick veiny mustache. We can get away with saying that on the channel, right? Oh man, I remember in the early days when I first started streaming, I was actually like really nervous about saying shit like that. I just don't give a fuck, man. You know. Goji says I have a goatee thing. I think you had when we did the hot dog stream, Goji. I think you had a mustache. Rusty, you know, I could maybe do that. I'm a little bit busy right now, but like, look, I'm good at this game. I can compete with tournament players and give you like basic information, but I'm not like the best out there. I'm a decent tournament player, like decent, but there are people much better than me. Yeah, just to be fair. But yeah, I mean, in terms of chaos, I know how to play them relatively well. I can also point you in the direction of people who might be better for your factions. Yeah. All right. Here it is. Let's see what the Dread Youngling has brought. We do have Boris Todbringer. Okay, with an Amber Wizard, which I like. I think it's fun. The Amber Wizard, of course, has great armor piercing. He's just a glass cannon. Aside from that, we got Sigmar Sons, we got some Flagellants on the wings, Silver Bullets, Demogryph Knights with Lances, very, very manly, and a couple Pistoliers to shoot Slayers. All right, this should be interesting. Rusty, not by as much as you would think, man. So Dwarf Warriors in the front. You know, Thunders in the secondary here. Couple Slayers in the backfield, and holy shit, that is a lot of cannons. It's going to be cannons. Now, this Empire build, with effective juking, might be able to get in there and do some work. But the problem is the triple cannons will wreck demis and also the flying beasts, and the thunders will also wreck pretty hard. This is going to be a very tough battle for our boy Flaming here. Because, you know, it's already a hard matchup, and you're playing a really good player, and, you know, he's got a great build against your build, so, like, you're going to have pretty immaculate micro to win this, in my opinion. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, mustache is... I'm growing my hair long again. I'm going back to the mullet. You know, there was a couple of things that I had to cut my hair for, so I didn't look like a creature, but we're going back to the wild ways. My friend Paul and I are, we're both growing our hair out, and we're going to have, like, dual mullets at some point. Since we're moving back to my hometown, I might actually try and become a coach at my high school for either football or track and field, and I just want to, like, show up with, like, a fanny pack and a mullet and, like, just, like, ridiculous shorts and just the full Monty. You know, just do that on the side, outside of YouTube, obviously. You know, because coaching high school sports doesn't pay shit. They literally give you like $1,000 for like 5 months of work. Yeah, but it's more of a passion thing. Yeah, the Youngling has already won the heart of the people. Yeah, for sure. It's still going to be so tough though. Xiphos' build is pretty tuned. He's got more or less everything he needs, like Iron Drakes to kill the squishy infantry and cannons to counter. This is where you get like mass Hellstorm rocket battery and just like outrange them and overcast spirit leeches and things like that. So. Yeah, no, you know, people don't wish happy birthday like they used to me. That was like a meme on the channel for a long time where it's like every day was my birthday. And it was like consistent for like 3 or 4 months. People were doing that. Turin teach esports as well. Yeah. May Turin StarCraft micro be imbued upon you. Yeah. StarCraft is probably the most recent RTS I was the best at. I was Masters League in StarCraft. Back then, I think there was Masters, and I was like, I remember I got to the top of Masters League. I couldn't quite reach Grandmasters, but I think with more time I could have. Yeah, I was Masters in StarCraft, and yeah, I put a lot of time into that game in college. It's easier to get like really good at games when you don't have to like cast and record games all the time, and you could just focus on practicing and playing. But yeah, yeah, I do some esports coaching for sure. All right, so Demogorgon Knights on the flanks, riding in, taking some cannonballs right to the face. Demis with lances actually aren't terrible against dwarves. Like I sometimes like to bring one of them, but man, oh man, cannons are just such a hard counter against them. You need to like keep them hidden. Probably what you should do with the Demogorgon Knights for the future, if you're watching Flaming, is like hide them in the bushes and bring them out later, once the dwarf cannons are compromised or there's other things going and all that sort of stuff. So here they come. You guys wanted Last Samurai. Here, you're gonna get it. These demis are just getting hammered by powder fire. Demogorgon Knights are so cool. I'm actually painting a bunch right now on tabletop. I painted an entire all 9 of my Demogorgon Knights, and I hated the scheme, so then I'm repainting them now. So I switched from like a black and gold scheme to like a silver and gold and purple scheme, which I like a lot more. So here comes the big Chungus Empire units. We get Boris Todbringer going after the miners. Oh, look at that. A big juicy Amber Spear going down there. Oh no, Scroll of Blasting. But man, oh man, that Amber Wizard's getting crumped. It looks like a regrowth is going to be going down. Good usage there. Yeah, should heal it up quite a bit, bring it back into functionality. This Manticore probably needs to sit on top of the cannon, and there you see Flaming does do that. In the front line, we get some Lance Demis moving in, hammering down these Dwarf Warriors, but he'll need to pull these back right now because a bunch of Slayers are moving in, and they look pissed off for sure. Toddy, in the meantime, getting attacked by Thoric and a bunch of Slayers. This one cannon is finally broken, so the Manticore summon did some good work. I mean, that's a good play. You know, this guy, it says this is his first multiplayer game, which I believe, and did a good job shutting down that cannon. I mean, there are many aspects of the game he's doing quite well in. Like, good backline harass here with these Pistoliers shooting into Slayers, but yeah, the Demogorgon Knight should have been a little bit more delayed, but more or less, he had a lot of expensive units in this army, like the 2 Monstrous Lords, the Demogorgon Knights, like things that are very weak to cannon play and Thunderer play. So basically, a lot of his build was, you know, just pretty rough against what Xiphos brought here. Still very cool. Amber Wizard flying back and across, maybe looking to jump on the Thunderers. One Dwarven Cannon is offline right here. Boris Todbringer in the back getting Shrek'd pretty good. And here the Dwarves. Some nice roasting. Yes, the Iron Drake's shooting into the Jade Wizard here. Look at that. You know, he's got good micro. I think that Flaming has got some good control. Like, you know, he's pulling units back. He's cycle charging. He's rerouting his Demogorgon Knights. Like, a lot of really, really good signs for, like, a gentleman who's, like, just getting into multiplayer. I'm pretty impressed. I mean, he's playing, you know, one of the best players in the entire community. And he's doing quite well, considering how terrible of a matchup it is and how his army did have some inefficiencies against Xiphos' force. Now, Demi's going to ride in here. They got their Lance's couch for Sigmar, but man, oh man, I don't know if they're even going to make it. They are getting charboiled, and they get the charge. Obviously can't hurt pretty bad. Thunders are overlapped back here. 2 cannons are offline. The Pistolier is able to chase them down. So we got some Pistoliers moving in and chasing those cannons, which is quite juicy indeed. The massive Amber Wizard has taken over the mantle of being the lord of this army, but he is not going to last too long as soon as the Dwarven guns line their sights. Pretty damn efficient Iron Drakes there, man. Really, really just giving them the dirty. So that looks like it's going to be it. GG, well played. You know, honestly, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. So there goes the Amber Wizard. He is down for the count. He'll army loss away. He'll go back to the woods and, you know, pet some squirrels and do what Radagast does here, as the guns have now turned their sights. I really like Amber Wizards. They're really cool. I actually want to get the Amber Wizard in tabletop and paint him up. It's a really badass model, which is incredibly cheap to get. For some reason, like, the monstrous models from Fantasy are still really cheap on Games Workshop's website. All right. Looking around here, we do have the Flagellants fighting, the last of the Unbreakable troops. GG, well played, man. Hope to have you back. And honestly, your Australian internet was perfectly fine. There was no lag this game, and it was very smooth. Yes. Yes, good, Anakin. Good. So, we are about 2.5 hours in. We will let Xiphos play one more. We'll give somebody the opportunity to usurp him. My poor Iron Drakes, I just want to roast stuff. Hey, you know, the Iron Drakes did their job. 4 wins for the French champion here. And now the next map is going to be the Black Pyramid. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to put him on that. That map is quite terrible. The Void of Helmfen. Yes, good. Oh, we can do Cliff of Beasts, actually. I like that map. It's a good one. Cool. GG. All right, so we now have Hadri's in here for Zyphos. This will be, if Zyphos wins this game, he will win the King of the Hill. If Hadri's wins the game, we'll give him the opportunity to play until he can either lose or defeat Zyphos' record, which will be 4. So if Zyphos wins, the King of the Hill will end and we will be going to FFAs. But if Zyphos loses to Hadri's, then we'll let Hadri's keep playing. Summon the Falcon. Well, you got Hadri's, who is currently in the top 4 of the ECLs. Hadri's did have an excellent victory versus Han Samurai in the ECL before I left town. And he's going to be playing... who's he playing on the bottom side of the bracket there? Call Harmon of ODM in the ECL top 4, which was really, really fun. The Dreadlord Hadri's comes on to avenge the youngling. He does. Zyphos pick 3. Look, have fun. I would love to get some minis, but I don't think Games Workshop sells here in India. Oh, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. Well, if you're ever in Los Angeles or in California, man, I'll get you some minis. I have so many extra ones, dude. Yeah. Rusty says he softened him up for you. There you go. That's the spirit. That is the spirit. So he goes, Bretonnia, Vampire Counts, and High Elves banning Skaven. Okay, very cool. He knows Hadri's is a Skaven main, but little does he know Hadri's hasn't been playing Skaven too much lately, at least as far as I can see. So he's going to go Lizardmen and probably ban... I don't know what he banned here. Probably not Bretonnia. Maybe Vampire Counts? I don't know how good Zyphos is with Vampire Counts, actually. Oh, bans High Elves. Yeah, makes sense. Bolt Throwers and different things like that are pretty good. Hadri's end his tyranny once and for all. Zyphos says, nice. Guess I did an oopsie. Yeah. So now we have Lizardmen versus Bretonnia or Vampire Counts. And I don't know how good Zyphos is at Vampire Counts. I don't know if I've ever seen him do it. Maybe once or twice. I mean, I'm sure he's good at them. But typically to like win these kind of matchups, you need to be like Void Lulls or one of those kind of guys, right? Who's just really, really nasty with Vampire Counts. Yeah, we'll see what he does. Lizard people, nice choice. Yeah, certainly so. Looks like Zyphos is going to go Bretonnia, which, you know, they got some tools. I care not for the lady. Zyphos summoning his French roots and picking Bretonnia. Jamie, thank you for the five pounders. Thanks for the great commentary, helping me through the difficult breakup. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about the breakup, man, but don't worry, you'll find the one eventually. I too had a bunch of haggard breakups and things like that in my younger years, and you know, you'll get there eventually. It takes time. I have a lot of friends in my mid 30s, late 30s now who are just now finding their partners, and so don't stress it, dude. I don't know how old you are, but you'll get there. Oxidated Intuition on the 19th. Oh, is there now? Of course I'll be playing. Of course. I know about the beta. Yes, brother. Yes. Zyphos is starting the game, so we get more matches. What a lad. I can assure you he is not going to throw this. Zyphos isn't that kind of guy. He plays for keeps. He plays for keeps indeed. You know what I'm actually painting for my tabletop army now as well is Bretonnian archers. So I took a bunch of Bretonnian archers and I'm painting them up and just using them as like Empire archers basically. So my army is like Bretonnian archers with like state troopers, and they look close enough. Hey, Particular Play Paint, thank you so much for the big old donation, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, if you ever have questions about tabletop, shoot me a message in ye old Discord. What is the best factions for beginners to play? Honestly, I think factions like Chaos is pretty good. Like, factions that are high leadership tanky and like you don't have to like rally units all the time, and like Chaos is pretty good, I think. Beastmen are okay too. You could just do like big simplistic rushes, like using like Chaff and like Spawn or Minotaurs. Like Empire is a really hard faction for beginners, and like cavalry focused factions are also hard for beginners, but I would also preface it with this. If you're a very experienced RTS player, I would say pick a harder faction to play because you'll learn quicker. and master more. But if you're like really new to RTS and Total War in general, then, you know, I would say more melee focused, heavy armor factions are better. Yeah. Thank you so much, Particular Playpaint. Really appreciate that. Any juicy? No, unfortunately not. No, I've been kind of out of the loop. Sotek, whenever, dude. Yeah, we could play. I hate Tabletop Simulator. I wish you were here so we could play in person. My army is pretty degenerate though that I play in tabletop. It's like I use Karl Franz, 3 units of Demogryph Knights. I use Gotrek. I use Indrasta from the Stormcast, and then I have like a couple wizards and some Shadow Warriors in the army as well. Yeah. I use Living Cities. Let's see, Jesse, thank you for the $5. I really wish YouTube would do a currency convert to USD or list the currency of the symbol. I want to know how impressed to be. Well, that donation from that we got before, the 400 was, I think it's like, that's like 20 or between 20 and $50. Yeah, thanks, really appreciate that. You guys are so generous. What am I wearing? I'm wearing the same thing I wear every single day, and the same thing I've been wearing since I was like 25, which is a white t-shirt and jeans. That is literally what I wear to everything. Yeah. I'm like, you guys know the big YouTuber, I think his name is, what is his name? His name on YouTube is Penguins, and I think he goes by Moist Critical on Twitch. Like, he's kind of perceived as like the Lord of White T-shirts, but I too am a Lord of White T-shirts. That's all I've worn, like, since I was like a late teenager. Yeah. Well, you know, Lore Master of Sotek, in Age of Sigmar, Karl Franz is actually quite good. The Empire General, or the Free Guild General on the Griffin is really, really powerful. So it's not like, he is painted as Karl Franz. He's got like, you know, he's got Galmaraz and he's got like the works and everything like that. Yeah. I literally have no fashion sense. I wear leather jackets sometimes too. That's probably the closest I'll get to fashion, yeah. Was thinking of Asmongold, yeah. It's kind of like the... When I used to work at my old job, I dressed differently. I used to have to wear like polo shirts and like khakis and things like that because I was an athletic director for a nonprofit. So I had to like dress a little nicer than I do now. But now I'm just like back to my full creature mode, just like embracing it. Got to get me some tank tops with spaghetti sauce. I've been there. I have had that happen. Yeah. Do you think undead factions are decent for younglings? Yeah. Yeah, like, they're a little bit harder to play, though, but Vampire Counts would probably be the easier one, because you could just go, like, Infantry, Mortis Engine, and, like, you know, their casters are very strong, so. No, I bet you, I don't know how long, I've been wearing white t-shirts for a long time. Probably since 2008 was when I started just wearing them, like, exclusively. I just go to, like, Target and buy the shitty value pack of, like, Hanes white t-shirts and just, like, wear those, yeah. I had to dress nicer, of course, at first to seduce Lady Turin, but now the dreaded white t-shirt has emerged. Thankfully, she likes it. Yeah. All right. So, taking a look here at ye old Xiphos. Holy shit. Look at this build from Hadries. It's going to be Peasant Archers, no surprise. We got a couple units of Men-at-Arms, some Foot Squires to help chew through Saurus. Questing Knights, double Trebuchet to deal with Temple Guard. And up in the sky, it's going to be King Lewin. Man, oh man. Looking here at ye old Hadries in the ECL Finals right now, looking to get there to the Grand Finals. He's got Lord Mazdamundi, Feral Stegodon, as well as the Dread Beast, the Dread Saurian, a man after our own hearts. Although I don't think it's a meme. I think it's quite serious. The Dread Saurian can be very tough to bring down, especially with healing and Shield of the Old Ones. Yeah, it's mainly just like Pterodons, and the Pterodons are there to kill the Peasant Archers while you just monster mash them with all this stuff, so. Yes, yes. Do you also keep a comb in your back pocket with some mousse? No, I don't. No, I did when I was younger. Yeah, when I was like in like, I don't know, when I was in my early 20s, I used to gel my hair, you know, quite a bit, like slick it back, things like that. But yeah, no, not anymore. Now I'm just the full creature. Back when I used to ride a motorcycle, listen to some 80s music, just blasting down the PCH, going like 90, wearing a t-shirt. No, those were the days. Those were the days. I'm just glad to be alive. Those were some dumb times. All right, predictions in chat. Certainly a Lizard favored matchup a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like Bretonnia can do some serious work as well. Sorry, my friend's just moving my water jug here as we get into the next match. We will see. Pegasus Knights are a curious X factor. Are they royal? No, they're just basic Pegasus Knights, so they might be able to catch some Pterodons. The problem is Pterodons have 360 shooting and poison, so it does slow them down to the point where they can't quite catch them, so... A pack of cigs in the sleeve? No. I never smoked, really, no. Never been into any of that. I have, like, really crappy, like, you know, like allergies and, like, breathing shit sometimes, so, like, I don't like to mess with anything that will make that worse. Yeah, Pterodons are really good here. I mean, they're super tough to deal with. They just fly over, and with good micro and juking, which Hadri certainly has, you know, the rock drops on top of the peasant archers is going to be quite devastating. Like, one good rock drop and a little bit of focus fire from the darts that they shoot, and, like, you can just shut them down. The fawns look, yeah, absolutely. This is vengeance for the youngling, is that what you're saying? For Flaming? Yes, Flaming, if you're here, Hadri's is your wrath. He is your vengeance. He is coming in and trying to, you know, usurp the Xiphos. So the first archers are shooting. Obviously, Pterodon Rider is going to get poisoned and slowed. That's pretty good for Xiphos there, but the rock drops, he's going pretty deep for it. I mean, the Pegasus Knights could fly in and maybe go after these Pterodon Riders right now. Since they're poisoned, they might actually be able to catch them. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, man. Here they come, Pegasus Knights flying in. Pterodon Riders getting blasted. Apotheosis going to be salvaging a couple model losses there. As we do get the Peasant Bowmen with the arrows continuing to shoot into the Pterodons that are retreating. Hadri's, you know, obviously respecting the Air Force. What was that sound? Oh, that startled me, darling. I thought, like, it was so squeaky. That was weird. No, no worries. So yes, we're here and the Pterodons have fallen back. Lady Turin has graced us with her presence. She has now descended back to the backside of the house. You guys want some, like, commentary on, like, real life shit? Or I just go, like, sit at a bus stop and just give you commentary on, like, play-by-plays on just the strange people I see. I feel like that'd be kind of a fun thing. Alright, Saurus Spears moving in. We have the dreaded pencil formation from Xiphos, which of course we've seen used with vampire counts for a long time, but it looks like he's just going to be charging in the end. Both trebuchets are still in line. Pretty good defense by the French champ here. Up in the sky. Ooh, look at this. Pegasus Knights actually catching the Pterodons and really tearing them apart. Man, oh man. I don't know how they actually caught them there, but yeah, 2 of the Pterodon riders are going to be mulched, and that's actually really, really grim there for Hadri's. They might be in the danger zone. Feral Stegodon getting blasted, but King Lewin is netted, and he is going to get his pound stretched. The Dread Saurian plus the Feral Stego Beast are going to do a lot of damage. Lewin is going to have to pull back. That is a pretty disastrous play for the old King of Bretonnia there. The nets appear to have worn off, or at least they will be in a second. And it looks like healing going in on Lewin, and the Knights are also going to be charging in, Knights of the Realm. Just trying to salvage the situation, really, and just allow Lewin to escape. So, 1 Pterodon Rider taken out by the Pegasus Knights. The Pegasus Knights are still on the hunt, but the rock drops are coming in, and that should do some good damage, although the first rock drop didn't do so much, but the second one, much more impactful there. In the back, Banishment going down on Foot Squires, quite a nice play there by Hadri's. Is going to potentially get some 2-for-1 value as it rotates through those Peasant Bowmen right there. Now back in the main epicenter of combat, Knights of the Realm doing some good work, but the Dread Saurian getting melted pretty good, but so too is King Lewin. King Lewin really in the danger zone. You can see Xiphos trying to get away there, and it looks like the mighty Xiphos will escape here as the Dread Saurian continues to get melted. You know what's really interesting is the one weird unsung hero in this match are the Royal Pegasus Knights. They've actually been methodically just massacring these Pterodon Riders. Obviously in combat, they're very well designed to do that. But yeah, look at that. 1,200 value. Beautiful stuff. Now, a big net coming down from Lord Chungus. Maybe going to be dropping a Ruination of Cities here, which would be just guaranteed value, basically, with how bunched up everything is. Peasant Archers, though, have a nice concave, which is a little bit problematic, and the Dread Saurian is being focused down pretty heavily. Xiphos actually pulling ahead in this game. Pretty hardcore. Pegasus Knights staying right on top of the Pterodon Riders, just hunting them down, just giving them the dirty. Here comes a charge on spears, mind you, but they are unbraced, so the infantry will take a little bit more damage than they otherwise would, and also some peasant bowmen, or excuse me, peasant mobs moving in to surround them. Honestly, they might be able to deal with these Saurus, just the sheer amount of rakes and pitchforks there. Back in the blob fight, the Damsel gets an Earthblood off. The Dread Saurian is about to break. It's got about 12 leadership. These peasant bowmen just hammering into it to the best of their abilities, and even if it does like 1 damage at a time, it still does quite well. More and more peasant archers shooting into Mazdamundi. Need to get that Dread Saurian off the battlefield, but you know who's going to be actually good against this Dread Saurian are the mighty Pegasus Knights of Bretonnia as they descend from the heavens. Lances couched. The Dread Saurian going to get Shrek'd super bad, down to 600 HP, lost about 1,000 HP on the charge there. And he is down. The Dread Beast has fallen, and with that, so too have the hopes of the Lizardmen. I think that this is going to be a game for Xiphos. I think he will be the champion of today's King of the Hill. He most likely knew the build that Hadri's was going to bring. It seemed like his build was quite well equipped to deal with it. Trebuchet still blasting in. The Saurus warriors out here were raked and pitchforked to death by the peasants. And yeah, man, that was a really good masterclass of using those Pegasus Knights. They were incredible this game. Very, very impressed. I mean, they might have accrued over 2,000 value. And Lord Mazmundi's broken. The Bretonnians have routed the Lizard Army. And nope, poor Dread can't take the pew pew. Classic, classic ODM, he says. Yeah, a lot of pew pew. But really, despite all the peasant archer fire, it was the Pegasus Knights. Because the Pegasus Knights countered the Pterodons, which were there to counter the peasants, which the peasants then countered the Dread Saurian. So you're seeing the kind of whole flow, ebb and flow of things. Let's check out the value. 1,600, not bad. Not as much as I thought, but still quite good. They basically allowed the peasant bowmen to shoot the entire game. Normally the Pterodons counter that, but in this case the Pegasus Knights were very, very solid. All right. So, GG, well played. Dreadbeast got about 1,300. GG, well played. FFA time. Feel free to join you two. Gonna remake. All right, so it's time for the FFA to end all FFAs. All right, Zypho's going to bed. No problem. And let's remake this bad boy. A very, very solid showing from the French champion. Turin, that was just the lag there, made it say 2-2, which was funny. All right, Turin, King of the Hill. No password, you guys just join. Yes, the FFA is here. Anyone's welcome. Anyone is welcome indeed. It's damn cold weather. My hands are like icicles right now. My micro is going to be a potato. So Zypho ends with 5. And there you have it. There you have it. It's been a fun stream so far. Nerf the peasants. Okay, we got Gojira, Michael, and Schmucky here. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and do the Rakuto pools. Shrine of Cain is an interesting one. You don't see that one too often. Let's do the Shrine of Cain. Map set. Gojira has snuck in. Yes, he has. Shall you... Oh, man, what do you guys want to see, though, is the question. I could put it to a poll. Who hasn't gotten much love on this stream? We saw several Dwarf games, which was good. I'm going to go Skaven. The Rats did not get much love today. They got banned and just like... Why am I telling them what I'm picking? I'm like acting as if it's like a 1v1 match. All right, Wookie, come do your business. How do you nerf a peasant? You less rations? Yeah, basically. Yeah. What's the weather like in California? It's nice. Yeah, Hadries, I'm really excited to see you play on Saturday, man. It's gonna be fun. You versus Carl Harmon. There's some big league shit. We're going Rats. We're doing probably 2 FFAs, maybe just one. We'll see. Gojira. Grimgore calls. I'm trying to get Grimgore for you. I'm telling Gojira to bring Grimgore. I said Grimgore calls. How dare you? The Rats need some love. They've been neglected here. Yeah, we got a pretty good little split. So Eshin Surprise is fun for sure. I'm not gonna do Tretch because even though like Tretch is just not fun, it's just misery and suffering. I told you I tried to talk Gojira into going Grimgore. 73 in the Bay Area. Yeah, it's pretty. Let's see. What's the weather today? Yeah, it's 78 outside, but inside it's like 69. That's what she said. So yeah. Rolling. Oh, Grimgore has been summoned from the deeps. Gojira has answered the call of Grimgore. Yes. Okay, you guys are getting Grimgore. Y'all know these Rats be loving it right now. So I'm bringing fun units, guys. I'm not going super try hard here. I'm gonna try and win when I get in the game, but it's like, yeah, it's pretty tame here, I would say. Very cool. Do I want to do a rat rocket? Oh man, this is so janky. Yeah, it's really nice weather in California right now. It's just excellent. Like spring and winter in California is really nice because it gets cold, but it's like still like, you know, very, very pleasant. Let's do you against Dark Elves and Chaos. I mean, I feel like I have stuff to fight them, I guess. I can't remember what this one is quite like. I wish Skaven had extra powder. Are there mountain lions? Yeah, there's like, I think so in some areas. I'm not sure. Some mountainous creatures. Okay, so let's get some of you guys. Maybe a little grinder of the warp here. Some you and you and you. Man, I don't know. I was going to do like a big thematic army, but now I'm just kind of like, okay, that gives you what? Some magic resist. Warp frenzy is fine. Cut that ability. We don't need that. Man, this build sucks. I mean, I don't know. I guess we got 2 big, thick rats, so hopefully they can do some work for us. I just don't want people flying over me, trolling me, so I had to bring some answers for that. All right, so we're about ready. Yeah, the Bay Area, like San Francisco, Oakland, it stays pretty cold there. I used to live in San Jose for many years, so I'm pretty familiar. Like, I worked in San Francisco from time to time in, like, the Oakland area. I worked a couple events there. I ran some bowling tournaments, actually, in nearby. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. One of these days, I'll show you guys some pictures of my old job so you can kind of get a grasp of what it was. It was pretty funny. Yeah, we got to run like bowling tournaments and a lot of neat stuff. Soccer, basketball. Wasn't the video of a guy being chased by a cougar from NorCal? Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, we have a lot of like mountainous terrain they like. Did I bring the items or am I just stupid right now? Okay, we brought the items. Good. You think it's triple abomination? Not quite. I have Throt, and I also have another big thick rat who I'm going to save as a surprise. Aside from that, it's like mostly standard. Got like some mortars and, you know, skirmishers and all that sort of good stuff. Yeah, Sean, I actually like living in San Jose. It was a fun city to live in. There's a really good nerd community there, like a lot of game stores for Magic and Warhammer and stuff. Oh, speaking of, no, I didn't commute there. So basically, Jake, my job was like rooted in San Jose. But like once every 3 or 4 months, I would go and like run an event in a different region. It's like a one-day thing. So I would like on a Saturday morning, I would just like go up and like I would rent like a soccer field or basketball facility, and I would run a tournament. And then, but like 80% of the time, I was in San Jose and Monterey Bay and Santa Cruz. Those are the regions I was responsible for working in. Yeah, we'll do a Warcraft stream this week. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know when, but it'll happen. Hey, Turin, I got a job offer in San Francisco, but my buddies are telling me it isn't. It depends on like how you like to live, man. Like if you like, the problem with San Francisco is, yeah, the salaries are really high, but the cost of living is freaking absurd. Like what you would probably do is you would live in like Oakland or nearby, and you would just commute in. If it's like your dream job, yeah. But personally, I I'm not a big fan of like living in super busy, compact cities. But it does have year-round cold weather, so there are perks to it. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my god, we just got a thick donation from Slava. Hey Turin, long-time lurker. There's a desync in the game, exiting. Oh no, I think hopefully we'll be okay. God damn it, Gojira. I think Gojira might have screwed it up, we'll see. He says, hey Turin, long-time lurker, first-time giver here. Your wonderful content has carried me through divorce, PTSD, losing my mom, COVID, and many sleepless nights. Happily remarried now, living my best life. I hope this is enough to start your bus stop people watching channel. Dude, I'm happy to hear you got through all that, man. And yeah, we got you covered. We're gonna keep putting out the ridiculous stuff that we all enjoy here. So thank you so much for that mega generous donation, and I'm glad to hear you got through those hard times, man. Yeah, no, losing a parent is really, really tough, dude. It's really, really hard. COVID, geez, man. Yeah, brutal stuff. Well, we got you, dude. We'll keep it coming. I really, really appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, losing a parent's really tough. Really, really tough. The bus stop. Yeah, the bus stop, bus washing channel. I know, now I feel like guilty. People definitely look at you weird. Let's see. So the armies have loaded in. Gojira, I think, tried to like abuse ogres in somehow, which might have screwed up the game. We're not 100% sure. Because it's like weird. I'm like partially in. I can see my army, but that is a veiny donation for sure. There was a desync in the game. Let's see. Gojira, there was a desync in the game exiting. Okay, that's weird. It's like stuck on 299 here. It's just like a valiant attempt from this find... The problem was, like, a lot of, like, the humor you would have at a bus stop might be, like, kind of, like, inappropriate. That would be the thing. Yeah, you might have broken it. We'll find out here in a second. Hopefully I don't have to restart it. Classic Gojira just trolling us. Okay, it's weird. It's, like, kind of getting in a little bit more now. Like, I can select things and I can click. Like, look at that. I even have, like, abilities. Look, I can like, use my summons here. Yeah, unfortunately, So, Gojira, if you're here, just leave. Just, like, force quit your game. Let's see if that fixes it. Because otherwise, I'm going to have to, like, reboot everything, which is a pain in the ass. Yeah. Give it your best. Come on. So, Goji. Leave game now. Let's see if that lets me reload. You know, I'll stay on rats for sure. Basically, I just went with like a Gorich build. So I have Gorich plus Throt. Gorich is how quick? He's got 70 speed. Like, the leadership and everything's like 0. Man, that really did bug shit out. Well, the problem is I can't escape out. So I have to reboot because I want to give these same people the chance to rejoin. And sometimes it's a little bit tricky, like with the lobbies and all that. So, yeah, look at that. I can't even hotkey shit right now. Weird. Keep it coming. Shut up and take my money. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, to Gojira leave the game. Okay, let's find out. Sorry, guys. You can blame Gojira for this. It's his doing. Trying to cheat the system. Is the Fat Rat good? He's decent. Yeah, he's not like super meta, but yeah, I think Throt can be made to work. He's fast, he's mobile, he regenerates, he has great abilities. Like, what's not to like, you know? I think Fat Rat is really good. Okay, so we're gonna have to just like force quit this basically. So hang tight. One moment. Okay. Force quit, restarting. We'll be back in just a second. Yeah, no. Well, Goji was saying he tried to like cheat in ogres even though I had unit caps on. There must be a way to like load in with them or something, so. Hopefully the same people can rejoin. So guys, let the same folks rejoin. And we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Remaking right now, just a second, firing up the game. If Throt's not meta, who's the best Skaven Lords? Honestly, basic Grey Seers are very popular because of the dreaded 13 spell being so good. I'd say Skrulk is still pretty good. Deathmaster is not bad. Like, Skaven have a lot of good lore choices. Like, Ikid is probably actually one of the weakest, which is strange because he's not... If he was on another faction, he wouldn't be terrible. But, you know, it's the nature of the beast. It is the nature of the beast. All right. Game is reloaded. Please let the same people join, if you could. I'd greatly appreciate that. And, yeah, let's get in there. Let's do it to it. Are you okay? You heard sirens? No, it's just Los Angeles. I opened my window, which I usually don't stream with the window open, but yeah. Yeah, Queek is actually good against Chaos, and he's good against Dwarves, yeah. Because Queek owns Sigvald, like, super hard in combat. So there's a couple things there. Yeah, Tretch is trash. Tretch is, like, just absolute dog shit. Okay, we got Michael, and then we just need the last gentleman. The armies. I got unit caps on, so shouldn't be able to pick ogres here. The attack on the stream is left us scarred, I know. Classic Goji. Not only does he load super slow in Blood Bowl when we play and take like 20 minutes on his turns, but he also delays our FFA games here. The dreaded Goji Blood Bowl turns. It's quite legendary. Okay, well, it looks like the other... Well, Shmucky, we'll get you into the second FFA. We'll just play now, it's fine. So, we'll get you into the next one, bud. I'll do one more for you after this. It's okay. I'll get him in next game. Get those armies going. I'm going to change my army a little bit. Okay. So, let's go ahead and fine-tune things. Ever so slightly. What am I going to have to deal with? I'm going to change, like, make some little changes to the army here if we can. What do we have? Orcs and some other witchcraft. I probably need like one mass unit. Oh, why do I not have any wolf rats? Shit, that would be probably a good idea to get a little bit of mobility, right? Some bump and grind. Got you guys. We got one clan rat spear. Can I afford the... Man, yeah, clan rat's getting a cost increase. I always thought that was kind of a funky one. All right. Casting O-Ring, Oblivion Ring. Oh, that's a nice Magic reference. Oh, goddamn. Let me shut the window so it doesn't, like, screech at us. The dreaded sounds of the city. Weapons teams for the win. If it was like a flatter map, I would do mass weapons teams. That's actually really fun in FFA. Just getting like 8 Rattling Gunners with like 3 Jezzails behind them, and just like if people don't build appropriately, you can last samurai them. Oh, you don't have to have the same army, Michael. It's fine. I think we're just waiting for Anticity and Goji. Eldrin of the Mist with the new siege maps and survival battles like Kislev versus Khorne. Imagine a Skaven World War I trench. Oh my, yeah. Skaven will be very good at that. Yeah, at like the survival, especially in campaign with like Clan Scryer, if you have like the infinite ammo thing for your Rattling Gunners, holy shit. Yeah. But you have to remember the survival battle that we showed you guys like 3 or 4 months ago, the Khorne versus Kislev. That was on like super easy mode where the AI had their HP cut like super low. So instead of having like 7,000 HP, the Khorne warriors had like 1,000 or 2,000. It was just so like, basically they made the tutorial for that or the demo for that very easy so that like people who don't play the game, like people from gaming websites or like news websites could play it and not like just die instantly. But when it does come out, it should actually be harder than that and will require like micro and things like that to survive. Gonna get stream snipe 3v1. It's certainly very possible, dude. You think you'll ever play New World? No, I don't think so. My days of playing MMOs are over. I'm an RTS guy. Like, as this channel like goes and goes, eventually I'm gonna like, you know, become an RTS focused channel, like focusing on the RTS genre in general. Because obviously Total War might not last forever, right? So we'll be covering like Age of Empires, Warcraft 3. There was a desync in the game exiting. Oh man, not this shit again. Oh, I think it's just Gojira. Yeah. It says Goji is at fault. So let's blame him. Boo. Alright, so gonna remake. It keeps saying Goji is desynced, unfortunately. So maybe it has nothing to do with his ogres. I don't think he brought ogres this time. But when it says desync, it says your name. The only way to tell would be to like load in without you, unfortunately. Oh man. Come on, Total War. Can we get some lobbies? Oh, hold on. Wait, everything popped up for a second. I'm like, is there hope or is it the same shit as before? No, it's just straight up desynced. Oh, but now there's a timer running. Okay, now this is just buggy as shit. Valheim was fun, yeah. Valheim was fun. I went through the entire game and I beat everything, and then it's just like, you know, if I want more complex base building shit, I'm gonna go play Minecraft or something. Yeah, looks like Michael dropped out. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time. If it doesn't work, guys, then that's gonna be, we're unfortunately gonna have to end early, so. Okay, let's get the task manager. So sorry about this. So excited to give you guys some glorious Skaven play. Yeah, we're in the FFA stage here. Gojira top deck the Day of Judgment. He did. He's using Damnation. He's duressing all the other players' computers, thought seizing. Kai, thank you for the donation. Can't equal Slava's donation, but I'm with him about the content, how it can be welcome escape for some. That helps more than you know. Congrats. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate that. You know, I don't know. Maybe I just... So Goji, just sit out this one. You and I'll play with you later, man. I'll play with you off stream. Just sit out this one and let's get the other gents in here who are joining, and let's see if, because it keeps saying your name when the desync happens, so I'm a little suspicious. Okay. It's remade. We'll switch the maps too. We'll just do Lost Temple instead or something. Maybe, do you have some mods on or something? Or like some like weird client stuff? Maybe that could have something to do with it? Kai, thanks again for that donation. Greatly appreciated. Alright, whatever. We're just gonna, yeah, we're fine. So, sorry guys about the jumping in and out and if you got in and it's hard to handle. Hammond, I was working on a cartoon to explain necromancy to everyone. Unfortunately, there was a power surge and it got erased. Now it has to be reanimated. Nice! You know, I wasn't sure where you were going with that. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then, nice dad joke there at the end. All right. How do I want to change the army? How do I want to play this? So I'm probably going to get Vanguarded on. It almost always happens. So I think I'm going to switch up the rat build to be a little bit more sneaky. So Wookiee is still here blocking. Yeah, it's probably because Gojira picked Grimgor and he was just too thick and strong for the FFA. Yeah, absolutely. So where are you, my little rats? Where art thou, rat people? Let's cut you guys. We got the biggest rat of them all. He is here. The limp rat, the limp biscuit. It's everyone's favorite. No, because if he wasn't on beta, it wouldn't have let him join, yeah. So he would have been out in the shadows. Okay, let's get one more of you. Third time's the charm, that's right. That's right, it is the charm. What else do we want to get? Maybe another one of these guys with poison. It's not even that much more expensive, really. Cool. You go in. I wish I could Vanguard you guys. I wish I could Vanguard Skaven Mortar teams and just like appear behind someone. Yeah, it's giving me some time to work with for sure. He's gonna have trouble getting away, which is unfortunate. Y'all be loving them rats right now. Oh, okay. I think I might just thought of an even more fun build than this. No, I think this is fine. Then we want to get some of you guys. What do we got? Elves everywhere. So elves mean that there's going to be degenerate flying SEM monsters. So we have to be prepared for that. Because that's typically how they play in this format. We can bring one of you just to be like an initiator type thing. And more or less, it's a pretty darn mobile build. Yeah, I don't want to just get caught and swamped by like 3 or 4 people. That would definitely feel bad. So get the scrying stone. Now we can cut that. Cut one doggo. Get you guys. Chevrons, and we're all set. All right, so my build's done. Loading up here. The game took you out when it crashed. Yeah, it does that sometimes. Hey Misha, thanks for dropping the link. Appreciate that. Skaven Warp's done versus Steam Tank. Oh my god, that'd be pretty funny. Yeah. Imagine if Skaven had like a ramshackle tank or something. Like just some like stitched together. I guess you have Doom Wheels and it's kind of close. I love the tongue-in-cheek aspect of Skaven. Like the fact that they like have a giant deadly hamster wheel and like just shit like that. That's like what made old school Games Workshop so cool. Yeah. Skaven are a cool army in tabletop too. That was the other army I considered playing, was a Skaven force. Like Empire and Skaven would be fun. When Old World comes back in tabletop and they go back to the Old World, I'm going to have a tough decision to make. For sure, a Kislev army is very appealing. Now they're probably going to have Cathay in tabletop and just so much shit. It's going to be wild, man. And also, did you guys see the teaser on Games Workshop's website for the Border Princes? They had a full article on the Border Princes. So that'll probably be a faction now that's going to be coming to tabletop, which also means if Games Workshop is doing Border Princes as a faction, then you damn well know that Creative Assembly probably will do the same thing and make them a unique faction later on. Like, dude, so much cool stuff on the horizon for Warhammer. Yeah. Total War is like, look at this photograph of Wookiee. Okay. Yeah, Goji, it looks like you were the X Factor, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry, man. It happens. Yeah, Skaven are pretty cool. Yeah, Skaven are fun. I would definitely, and they're pretty easy to paint too. I mean, the problem with Skaven armies is you have to paint a shitload of models, but in general, they're pretty simple. It's like just like a little bit of dry brushing and, you know, base coat them brown or whatever color you want to do, and then just dry brush them with a different hue and you're good. Isn't Wizards of the Coast making a 40k set? Yeah, they are. They're making a 40k Magic set, which I'll play on, if they have it on the online, like Magic Arena, I'll definitely play it for you guys. That'd be fun. Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. Some good times on the horizon. Ban Gojira. I know. Goji, poor Goji, just getting blamed for everything here. It's okay, Goji. We still love you, man. Why was the Wood Elf exiled, says Christian Bender? Because he committed treason. Oh, I like that, dude. I like that. That's a good one, man. Good dad joke. All right, so here we are. Let's go ahead and grab the Gutter Runners. So, you know, if there's a lot of annoying SEMs, these guys are great. We also have the Packmaster Throt combo. We have a Bell. We have a single mortar, so we have greenskins here. The mortars are just kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of like halfway in with a full mobile build, and like, so that's the problem with this one. Brave Skaven Slaves, and then like you can kind of like lurk in the bushes here. Yeah, we have no idea what's gonna happen. Got to put the pressure on our opponents and just like ready up instantly. It's my favorite thing to do in FFA. Oh man, so even if I get fully vanguarded by all three of the players here, there's probably going to be a loopy vanguard with Shadow Warriors, like could be like right behind me. At least I have fast lords, so my lords can get away. You know, that's like the one nice thing we have going. Are they still selling Lizardmen armies? Yeah, you can get pretty much all the Lizardmen stuff. There's a really good website in the UK called Troll Trader, and they sell like old fantasy armies for like really cheap. So you can like find full armies or like individual models. It's really good. Yeah. Oh my god, Eldar Control. Yeah, Gruul Orcs. Yeah, Orcs will definitely be, well, yeah, like Gruul color probably. I don't know about the green. Oh, they are fungus, so red-green makes sense for Orcs. Chaos will be like mono black or black red probably. Be my wager. I never play blue decks. I hate counterspells. Counterspells like are just like the most unfun shit. I get why people enjoy it because it's fun to make your opponent suffer every now and then. But oh man, no Vanguard. I mean, this is a certainly quite a treat. All right, what's attacking? Oh wait, I was wrong. Is there some Vanguard shit? Oh my god, what is that? Oh, he's got the Rogue Idol ROR. God damn. All right, let's move like up and through here and just like get ready to party here. Can move you guys up as well. My poor mortar teams are going to get wrecked here. Thankfully, I have a lot of counter skirmishing. So let's just blast them. We're going to just rip some mortar shots real quick. Get the big Chungus rats moving out. Gutter Runners doing their thing. Now we can switch the mortars over here onto these goblins. Looks like we have our fight on. Like what we're going to be fighting is here, so. Yeah, my skirmishers will be quite good here. It's funny, I was playing so much Age of Empires recently when the beta was out that I'm like trying to put my shit in loose formation like I do in Age of Empires. Ah, yeah, I think the darkness is your ally. Us rats were born in the darkness. Okay, is there anything behind me? I'm so spacey right now, I'm not even like looking. All right, mortars are bombarding. Let's just kind of keep playing this game. Moving up. Mortar teams can go after the skirmishers. And yeah, should be all right. Let's just keep moving, man. I think Throt and Other Boy can do pretty well against the Rogue Idol. Ooh, where's that boulder going? Yeah, he's really going after the mortars, which I don't blame him. Looks like the vampires and others are fighting over there. Keep the dogs in the bushes. So if these Spider Riders decide to... Ooh, you know what? Let's actually just go for him here and see if he's paying attention. Yeah, mortars are now hitting his skirmishers, which is good. And we have like plenty to block with back here, so I'm feeling good. Yeah, very, very nice. All right, so we caught his Spider Riders. We had our little ambush in the bushes, and that should be good there. So they're broken up. Good job, guys. So let's keep moving. Mortars, just keep giving them the dirty if you can. And now it is time for the big Chung guy to come out. Yeah, the big spider's moving, but, you know, I feel pretty good against the big spider. Let's get these like, doggos around the bushes here. Oh, a little vindictive sniping going down. I like it, man. I like what you're working with. That's cool. The hounds, honestly, I'm not like against oh, what is this? What is this shit? Oh shit, yeah, that's the Arachnarok Queen. He summoned some little hatchlings. That's cool. So let's get on you. Let's get the mortar teams continuing to bombard here. Hounds can go chase here as well. Get those mangy marauders offline, and let's just fight these guys here. See what we can do. Yeah, the big boy is here. He is. We're just trying to chase down whatever scraps we can. And yeah, Mortar's just still doing a shit ton of damage. Such a good unit. Pretty wild. He's got Grimgore, so Grimgore's a little concerning for sure. And let's start dropping some summons and prepare like the Mortis engine. Yeah, good. All right, so we took those guys out. Let's go get them. Wolfrat's over there. Should be able to clean up his mobility. And let's drop a summon to buffer those guys off. Pull Throt and company back. And we can get the gutter runners going after this. All right, cool. We got that. Mortar teams, just keep bombarding in. And now we get the Raccoon squad to potentially move in and do some work. How are the wolves doing? They've certainly gotten their prize. Let's pull them back here. Yep, Throt's doing some good work. We do have a creature killer, so let's drop the Rat Ogre summon to pin them in place. And then what we do is we pop creature killer. It's a pretty good combo, so then they all get anti-large, which is very cool, including the ogres. We have our little skirmishers. We have some rats we can pop. Rats? I want to use the heal actually on the other rat. He's a little bit beat up, so let's pop the heal on him, see if we can salvage him a little bit. Mortar teams. Ooh, looks like we got some vampires coming our way. So let's get our wolf doggos down here and see what we can do. We might need to withdraw from this. I think we're a little bit too entrenched in combat. I think Grimgore is actually attacking my other one, so that's the cool thing about our army. It's like a mobile kind of stick and run army, so we can be a little bit cautious with all that. Pulling you back, pulling you back. We still have summons in there, and the summon rat ogre is doing some good work. The big spider actually broken, so let's get some wolf rats on it and see if we can break it, and pull our other guys under here. In the meantime, you guys just keep working on Big Chungus. Looks like we did pretty good in that fight, and yeah, the spider's now going to get feasted on. How's the backfield looking? Oh my god, look at this. Gutter runner? Shit, okay. Well, let's drop the clones. The gun the Clone Wars have. Do this, and we can have the mortars switch and blast them down. Until we get the big spider. Oh, the spider is unfortunately taking a bit of a bad pathing for us here. These are Dark Riders from Michael. So we'll swarm them with our dogs and our rat squad. Gutter runners, let's pull them back. How are the mortars doing here? Yeah, not the prettiest fight in the world, but nonetheless. We just got to stay away from Grimgore. Grimgore is the beast in the night we need to avoid. Our little Gray Seer can move back here. Let's get the mortar teams moving this way. Skirmishers, take out the backline harass. We're feeling good. Feeling good, man. I could go after the big boy, but I'm a little bit nervous about it. Loopy over there. He's got a pretty healthy army. Okay. So how are the skirmishers? Yep, they're doing good. Mortis engine, not the Gray Seer, but that thing should be able to do some work, and we'll just keep running with these rats. I'm so glad I brought all this anti-air, man. You know, it's so nice. Alright, so chase. You guys chase. Chase there. So let's go ahead and get our Skaven slaves to chase these units, and then we can get the triads to take down those guys. Cool. Very good. So where are our rats at? Okay, they did good fighting on the edge. The Greenskin army, definitely formidable. And our little skirmishers that could. We just want to avoid Grimgore, really. Grimgore, I mean, we could probably get him down with attrition, but that rogue idol is super point valuable, too. Yeah, let's hide our dogs in the trees. Like, that's just a lot of stopping power there, guys. Alright, you get there. Take him out, save the mana. Looks like Your Next being activated. I guess we just start working on Grimgore. Screw it, right? Let's just do it. And the mortar teams, is there anything to shoot? Yeah, we could shoot some of these Dark Riders here. Alright, so Grimgore's taking the business. We'll get the one unit of gutter runners to get into combat with them. The dogs, we need to make sure they don't get caught and, you know, kind of punished there, but we gotta wait for Your Next to wear off. That unit does heal, so maybe we just attack Grimgore a little bit now. Let's go for it. He gets into the trees nicely. Oh, God, the 1-2 punch. Okay, I immediately regret trying to fight the Greenskin beat squad there. Beats by Grimgore. What does he have activated right now? He's got like all of his buffs, yeah. Do we get around the back and go after the big boy? Mortar teams still have a little bit of ammo. I guess we just try and farm this rogue idol for points. Yeah, that's fine. Just like keep Grimgore trapped here. Shot caller on himself to give him a little bit of melee attack and leadership. And man, every time we go in there, we just get punished so badly, dudes. Look at that shit. Oh my god, I just like get karate chopped by his characters. Yeah, we gotta just ignore this guy. It's not worth it. We'll send our little rats over here to do their things. And where the hell is my Grace here? Okay, he's here. So let's pull up and around. Like, screw this Grimgore shit. He's just an unholy terror. We have our rats looking to cause problems as well. So Grimgore can just... We can leave the ones that are out of ammo to fight Grimgore, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Loopy's got a big army of Shadow Warriors, too. I feel like I need to work with the Dark Elf player against Loopy. Yeah, yeah. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Alright, we're moving under. We have no more heals, but thankfully the Brood Horrors just heal themselves, so that's cool. Shadow Warriors are a problem. We still have a shitload of magic, which is cool. Mortar teams are coming. Grimgor is just in Mortal Kombat here. What does Loopy have? He's got an Archmage of High Magic. Interesting. And we do have our little Eshin Triads here, which are pretty cute. Moving across. Yeah, Loopy's pulling in second place pretty hardcore here. We're going to have to start mortaring these guys down to the best of our abilities. The Druki are really, really in trouble, but maybe if we work together, we can do something. Dude, Grimgor just going ape shit. Those Shadow Warriors will, if I'm not careful, will get me pretty good. So let's get our Gutter Runners. We need to sandwich him right now. Wish I had like a summon to use. Okay, they're fighting, so I gotta get in there and help. I can't like sit on my butt here and let my beloved Druki allies pay the troll toll. Ouch, 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 ouch. I regret everything. Oh, God. Okay, okay. Let's do this. Let's pull our dogs back. The rats need to just keep juking back and forth. Yeah, we're basically buying time for the Druki right now, because Loopy just got so many points off both of us. Throt still has a little room for his healing cap, which is nice. Yeah, he's trying to snipe my lord. Typical elves. Mortar team shooting in. Let's get the Mortis engine popping in there. Let's go after these archers here. And go after these guys. And then, Shadow Warriors are kind of low in ammo, which is good for us. I just can't get close enough to do anything with my other guy, which is pretty funny. All right, we got some value here, which is good. Let's get on those silver helms. Let's keep Big Boy back a little bit. And the mortars are going to friendly fire all of our rats, which is classic. Yep, cool. So we're getting some work in. He might go after Throt here, which is a little concerning. Is that Loopy's full air force? No, he's chasing Wrathy, actually. Okay. So you guys just battle there. It's fine. Try and take him out. We still have the Mortis engine, but Loopy's getting a lot of points here in the later stages of the game. The little Gutter Runners aren't bad in combat. Nor are our doggos. Let's send them around the back. Come on. Get them, Anakin. Wrathy. Oh, it's a Dreadlord. He brought a Dreadlord. That's cool. Okay, keep pushing. Can't really, like, drop summons yet. Oh, he's going after the big boy. The Packmaster. Okay, he's about out of ammo now, which I think gives us pretty good fighting odds. We need to just fight against Loopy's forces. The Dark Elves don't threaten us at all. Oh, shit, I forgot about Grimgor and the Rogue Idol. They're just some haggard boulder comes from off stream, and I'm just like, oh, well, that's a thing. All right, how much ammo do they have left? They have a little ammo left, actually, which is problematic. Let's go ahead and do this, and this summon like that. Be very, very careful. All right, cool. So that should deal with them. We'll get you guys hunting over there. And the dogs, unfortunately, just broke on the back of the map. Yep, he's going after my monsters. Good play, for sure. We have some rat summons. Let's drop them. Thankfully, I saved like a shit ton of winds of magic. Oh, the dogs are actually here. They just came from the wrong side. Okay, let's go after some shades. Ah, save the shades. Oh, they have a shit ton of ammo. Actually, that's a lot of points. I can't turn down those points. Okay, Shadow Warriors are getting owned. We're pulling it back into it. The problem is we might need to be last man standing to get this. Yeah, now the Chung guys can move after them. You guys go. You guys just keep pushing forward. And here comes the Rat Squad. Creature Killer, I think, gives leadership too, doesn't it? No, immune psychology, okay. Shadow Warriors might be able to hurt us too, though. So we need to pull in the Mortis engine quickly. Yeah, it looks like we got the Terror out on them. Ooh, this is a scrappy game, dude. This is a scrappy game. Let's keep farming those points to the best of our goodness. What do we have here? Oh, it looks like our Skaven slaves defeated those nasty Skulkers somehow, which is pretty funny. Okay, very good. Throt's doing some work this game, for sure. Are these Shadow Warriors shattered? They are. Okay. Loopy with his beloved Elithanar sub-faction. That's his jam for all time. Value on Throt Daddy is only 700. Yeah, it's mainly been the skirmishers have been doing well. Get them. Hunt them down. Show no mercy. Loopy still got a noble up in the sky looking to get down. We need to make sure to like shatter all this shit. I don't want to be chasing hidden units around the map. Get shattered. Let's get all of you guys. Honestly, we could just put everything in a big disgusting control group now. And are they broken yet? Not quite. I think Throt's healing capped. Packmaster's healing capped. Yeah, it's been a while. Not surprised. And the Armor of the Stars being used here by Luffy is pretty fun. We still have the Shades. That's a little bit of a problem. I mean, guys, I think Grimgor is still alive. I have no idea. Let's go look here. Hold on. Are you guys seeing this shit? Look, there's like Grimgor and a Rogue Idol just in the bushes here. Oh my god. Well, nobody's going to be able to kill that shit. That is for sure. I just got to get points. That's all that matters, because the Greenskins are so far behind, they can't win. So if I just get enough points and like make sure Loopy isn't last man standing or something with like some hiding character, then should be okay. Okay, what else do the elves have on the ground here? All right, I'm gonna just start moving over here. Gonna grab some water in the meantime. Grimgor does need a motorcycle. He needs a big chopper. Like a big goddamn hog. Okay, here comes the Triads. What do we got here? Yeah, Loopy's noble here. It's getting finished. That'll probably eliminate him once it dies. These little gunner runners, man, they've been doing so good this game. Let's see, 800 value on you, 500 here, 1200 on you. Not bad at all. How about the Triads? Yeah, I'm sure the Plague Priest did good too. Yeah, not as much as you think, actually. All right, so it looks like, looking around the map, Grimgor is taking up residence in the bushes. He's a resident forest camper. And oh my god, the Dreadlord is shooting me. Did not see that coming, I must admit. You guys keep moving up, keep getting ready to throw some shade. And our little rats should do okay against the shades there. Move you guys in. Triads, go. Mortis Engine, prepare. Oh no, Grimgor's emerged from the trees. He has. The tyrant of the old world has emerged once again. Look at him, he's just like exploring the terrain. You know what's funny is he could actually be getting more ammo with the extra ammo thing. Yeah, that would be hilarious. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. I'll take last man as a win at this point. There you go, buddy. Yeah. that'll do, Pig. That'll do. All right, getting some more points. Yeah, there's no way I can defeat him. I mean, I do have my Eshin Triads and some summons, but it's not likely. I mean, one hit will kill either of my characters. So I think you could just come out here and give me the business. The Shades were actually the best tool we had against those monsters if we were to like have a Grand Alliance team up. Shattered. All right, let's do it. Oh my god, look at the leadership. What the hell was that? Oh, the stupid Dreadlord. God, get that out of here. You're ruining my chances of being last man standing. All right, let's do this. Let's like hide behind this thing. I'm gonna like try and keep Throt behind this bad boy. Okay, rats, you guys get around the back. And now let's go for it. Yeah, this is violent and fight, man. This is the time of heroes. Let's give anti-large to all these dudes. Pull the Mortis Engine back. You know, if it weren't for the Dreadlord, I think I might have actually been last man standing. Throt's just like holding on by a thread here. Because those little Triads are doing some work. Oh, look at Loopy. Loopy with the fourth quarter ambushes. Yeah, Triads are doing some damage for sure. You guys go over there. The dreaded Dreadlord has been my scourge this game. Oh, poor Throt. Look at him. Scratching his little rat nose. Okay, can we juke that? Oh, it's coming in for the fight. Oh, is it going to get me? Throt might break here. He's not the bravest of rats. Okay, so we got the Shadow Warriors. I'm just trying to get whatever points I can. Throt's going to break. Yeah, he doesn't like being charged like that. Dude, Grimgor is so meaty. Look at that shit. I have some summons. Throt, no! Dreadlord is at 200 HP. Well, let's go see if we can ram this thing down with our cart. Our Haggard cart. Dude, look at Grimgor. He's just so thick. Only 1200 value, but he's certainly been a survivor. Alright, do we save the summons? I think we save them. How about we scorch some of our own rats to send a message? Go, Plague Priest. Battle the Rogue Idol. Clearly a good matchup for you. Cycle charging Plague Priest. Oh. We have to get vengeance here for our boy. Oh, did we get the ram? We did! The Dreadlord has fallen. He's gonna fall. Can we get the Dreadlord? Come on. Oh. Oh, the Dreadlord escapes with 58 HP. Grimgore versus Clan Rat Summons. There's no way. Look how thick this thing is right now. God damn. Still 2,000 HP. Despite our best attempts to ram this thing. It's a close game. We got it in the end on points. We were able to get a lot of value from the greenskins early. Oh. Then we kind of teamed up on Loopy because he became the rapid terror in the night. Yeah, a little mobile rat core was cool. That was a fun build. 2,000 value on mortars, man. They're just so goddamn good. I actually like the Triads a lot too in this situation. Yeah, well played to these gents. Well played. Oh my god. Guys, look at this. This has got to be a record. Holy shit. That Dreadlord got 5,300 value. Doing the Druki proud. Damn, that's got to be a record. Let's see. Rogue Idol got about 3,000. And Grimgore 12. Loopy's forces. Oh, those were Shadow Walkers? Holy shit. Look at Shadow Walkers. 16, 16, 15. Man, Loopy getting value city on his Shadow Walkers there. Then beautiful stuff. You know, the only thing that was lame about his build is he didn't have a Lithnar. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good. All right, guys, I probably got to jam now. Unfortunately, some of the delays we had in getting the game started, I've run out of time. There's some other stuff I got to take care of today. But I'll be back soon. I'm going to be streaming on Saturday.
Like me. You have to take care of me.
That's right.
Me.
Absolutely the truth. You've heard it straight from the mighty Lady Turin. We got a donation closing things out from Eldrin of the Mist. If the Force-Gaven clans wages a civil war, plague, high-tech monsters, who do you think would win? I feel like Plague would win, just because it's like a nastier way to do things. Yeah, that's just my guess. All right, my friends. We are done for today. Thank you all for joining. Special thanks for some big old donations. Eldrin of the Mist, Hammond, Kai, Eldrin, Slava with a huge one. Thank you so much for the fat 300. Jesse, particular, Playpaint, Jamie Baker, Al's, Stefan, Samson, James Hands, and Al again, Templar Knight. Man, you guys went crazy today, and a new member as well. Appreciate you guys. That's it. We'll see you next time. Saturday. Tomorrow I'm not streaming, but Saturday I'll be doing the ECL Grand Finals, which should be quite a bit of fun. So really looking forward to that. Take care of yourselves. Spend some time with your families and your loved ones and your pets. And we'll see you around. Cheers.